David Wilcock is lying again. Decades of fakery he can't defend. David Wilcock is lying again, but karma always has its revenge. Fake insiders and secret space lies, fake bullshitters I try to disguise, fake stories I sell to the weak, fake stories I just repeat. David Wilcock is lying again. Decades of fakery he can't defend. David Wilcock is lying again, but karma always has its revenge. Fake stories, that's all I got. Fake stories, I hope you forgot. Fake stories, my history of lies. Fake stories, open your eyes. David Wilcock is lying again. Decades of fakery he can't defend. David Wilcock is lying again, but karma always has its revenge. Fake stories, my history of lies. Fake stories, open your eyes. Fake stories, my history of lies. Fake stories, open your eyes. My history of lies. Fake stories, always open your eyes. David Wilcock is lying again. Decades of fake lie he can't defend. David Wilcock is lying again, but karma always has its revenge.
Valley's been a ghost ship, 20 years of empty claims, with hangars full of garbage and dreams that never came. Now he's fishing for new suckers to store more junk inside, while promising his gullible fans hover cars and free energy rides.
We are working on anti-gravity. As soon as we get financed, which again is coming very soon.
Divine insights were handed down, but now they cost a fee. In the wacky world of Wilcock, that's the way it's gotta be. Financial resets, debts erased, a world so fair and bright. The alliance never came, and neither did his wife. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Extraterrestrial pals, they're coming here to stay. Disclosure's always just around, but aliens delay. Law of one, the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all mixed up in one. David's stealing from the best, but his fans think it's a brand new one. Plagiarizing profit, that's his favorite routine. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense reigns supreme, we'll all get rainbow bodies, whatever that might mean. And Jesus is an alien, the wildest thing you've seen. David's on a hero's journey through dimensions far and wide. Draco reptilians know where he lives, so in his mansion he must hide. Catastrophes and end times, we're on the brink, he said. But my coffee's brewing nicely, and I'm still in my bed. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. No one's suffering like David. his mansion grand and tall, with bison, steak, and chicken. He's the loneliest of all. His teeth are fake as his prophecies, and courses that he sells. In the wacky world of Wilcock, he's ringing all the bells.
If we bathe in our own urine, we can gain superpowers. Doing the bath does help. Or you urinate before you get into the bathtub, and then you drink new water out of a glass, and when you're in the bathtub, you can do a little more.
On my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. His PowerPoint slides are packed with schizophrenic rants, forced to stream on YouTube now. Bankruptcy's a stance. Stavati Aerospace, a Ponzi scheme they say. So pay pigs better pay up, or like Corey Good he'll stay. So many dates, so many dreams, none of them come true. But hey, don't fret, just buy the course and I'll enlighten you.
For God's sake, take the deal, okay? But you have to take the deal and you have to cooperate. Rise, rise, rise. And you feel yourself, kinetic energy of levitation, tingling across your skin.
In 2012 we all ascend, a cosmic shift was due. But here we are in 24, and nothing much is new. Mass arrests and cover busts, elites should quake in fear. Yet they're still here, sipping wine, and we're all stuck right here. In a world of Greer and Good, Crush and Lou, with their claims nobody tops David Wilcock, with his fringe and wacky games, while they're sharing UFOs and theories kinda tame. David's got aliens who wanna sleep with him and eat him, what a shame. He's the master of the bizarre, with rainbow bodies on display. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense leads the way. So here's to Dave, the shyster bold, with tales so far-fetched and grand. In his world of make-believe, where fantasy's second-hand, he spins his fairy tales and lies between his YouTube streams for his cat crystal ladies who gobble up his dreams.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through,
and salutations, friends, and welcome back. Apparently, David Wilcock has been lying again. So, so here we are. Nothing really new, right? But tomorrow he'll be lying again, right? So I don't know. He's been doing these weekly Sunday streams, which basically amount to him essentially repeating the same things that he's been saying for months. The mass arrests, Ascension's coming any day now. By the way, now he's moving the goalpost. We previously reported that Mr. Wilcock claimed that Ascension was coming by May of 2025. And apparently, even some of his followers are getting pissed off and saying, "You said it was coming by May." Now he's trying to move the goalpost and move the deadline. And this is nothing new because that's what a fake psychic does. They make predictions, the predictions fail, and then he, comes up with some excuse for why. Now he's talking about different time loops and timelines because the deadline is rapidly approaching. As we have reported here, he's got a very short period of time in which to grift off of this current grift, and that is that the Archangel Michael is giving him prophetic prophecies and secret and sacred knowledge and telling him to sell it to stupid people for $333. So one of his viewers asks, is the Ascension event for whatever the sun happens to do going to occur before Memorial Day this year? Last year, in one of your live streams, you gave a deadline of Memorial Day 2025, but now you just say 2025. Just curious. And here he says, "No one knoweth the hour nor the day." Well, you claim to know the hour of nor the day and the day. You said that there would be a mass ET contact event with angelic extraterrestrials by May of 2025. I have all the clips, David. Don't make me embarrass you and make a supercut of all the times you said this. You said this while you were selling stupid people a $333 course that you claim is secret, sacred knowledge that comes from the Archangel Michael. He goes on to say, but we can expect the next 6 months to feature intense struggle. So we are still just getting started. I expect a huge number of reveals. Well, what are you doing? I don't know. And let's see this one. We are at 30-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, he says, exactly during the time I need to be on the air. Oh, geez, 30-mile-an-hour wind. How will he ever survive? This is so stupid. This guy is like, imagine sitting in your house going, well, I'd like to do a show, but the wind may blow up to 30 miles an hour out there. So this has happened countless times. It does appear to be intentional. If I ran a show tomorrow, you would boo much louder as the wind would create horrible background noise. Can he afford soundproofing? I don't get it. I don't understand any of this, but this is where we're at, and this is where we find ourselves. And by the way, it's Saturday night. I'm just here to put a few things on the record. We'll probably have a very quick show tonight, so I made a very reasonable goal of 20 super chats, and we've already got some kind and generous people giving us one for the goal. Mariner1712 with a kind and generous $5. Suffer Wilcock. Cambian ain't scared. If you want to know the truth about it, you're right. For those unaware, and we're going to get into this, now David Wilcock is threatening me with arrest again, as if he has the power to criminally prosecute me. JJ with a kind and generous 10 pounds, another one for the goal. So we thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. Recently, last night, I had some incredible computer problems, and just one of those things, right? Windows decided to stop allowing me to connect to the internet. And even with all my background in IT and computer science, I can't figure it out. Not really great with Windows 10, much better with XP and 7. But in any case, my main rig is down, so I had to cobble together a sort of lifeboat. I have a literal computer graveyard at my house. There's piles of them. Um, and so I've cobbled together a quick way to continue doing shows until I have time to do what most IT people would do. When you can't figure out a stupid problem like that, you just reinstall all of Windows. But then that sucks because you have to reinstall all of your applications, and it takes me weeks before I feel like everything is back. I did manage to do a complete and total backup, um, I think 4 terabytes or five, almost 5 terabytes maybe of data on that main PC, all of our bumpers and all this stuff. So yeah, I'm just thankful to be here because it was kind of even as short a time ago as a few hours ago, I didn't know if I was going to be able to be here for the show, but we've gotten past it. So we thank you, kind and generous benefactors, because I got a couple of what are they? Lenovo IBM ThinkCenter workstations that were just doing other things, but we can use them for the time being. Um, can you read my deadpan? Says David Wilcock going to citizen arrest you, Suffolk Cambian. Yeah, as if that is even a thing, right? Uh, yeah, felt it in the desert, felt it in Colorado, right? It's really wow. So we're gonna get into the. I was gonna review the what do you call that? Review the previous claims of arrest. I'm going to forego that for tonight. He claimed that he was getting me arrested. Remember, for getting him swatted. Then he claimed that he was getting me arrested for. I think now he says that I'm trying to extort cryptocurrency. I'm running an extortion racket against him and terrorizing him. I'm a terrorist or something. It's really stupid and ridiculous. And of course, he's going to sue me for slander while he's telling people that I'm a Satan worshiping, child predating terrorist who is also running an extortion attempt on him. And by the way, I'll put it on the record again. Say my name, bitch. Say my name, right? Turned out I had the same thing happen to me. It turned out to be Proton VPN at the same time as Norton VPN, which ran on startup. I forgot to turn one on I don't use off. Well, no, apparently, I don't know. I tried different Wi-Fi adapters. The only thing I haven't tried, because I don't have a hard line here in this office, I keep meaning I'm going to have to run a 150-foot cable into the basement from the attic here to get, uh, you know, regular wired internet line, but it has something to do with the uh, diagnostic services. So even if I put a new Wi-Fi adapter in in any of the USB slots, it sees the Wi-Fi adapters. Then I go to start a browser, no internet. So when you click Run Diagnostics, it says that the administrative diagnostic service is not running, even though Windows says it is. I don't know what it is. You know what to do. Cat's pajamas. You just reinstall Windows. That was half of my IT career, reinstalling Windows, and also did you turn it off and turn it back on? That's most of what I did. If I really couldn't fix something, usually you can. You could track down a problem. Oh, my sound's not working. It won't let me access my email. Whatever people were dealing with, I could usually handle. But if I couldn't, I would just take their computer, give them a brand new one, and put their login credentials in, and then I would reinstall Windows and throw that one in a pile for the next time somebody had an issue that was unresolvable. So we're going to get into the media clips tonight. Um, yeah, I have, thanks to the kindness, generosity of Macario. So we know that he's lying because in his latest live stream, David Wilcock is crying, and he made a lot of completely and totally false statements like, oh, only one investor is suing them. Yeah, currently. What about the others that might start soon? And one of the things that amuses me is that David Wilcock is claiming he's getting me arrested and he's suing me while he is in all kinds of legal trouble himself. And that's a verifiable fact. He's subpoenaed to give a deposition in the Gaia Corporation versus Corey Good lawsuit. and he's going to have a lot of explaining to do. And by the way, David Wilcock, if it's at all legally possible, we're going to get a copy of the deposition that you give or the transcript of it, and we're going to broadcast all of it here. Yeah, Zero, I 100% agree with you. But, I go back and forth. Every few years, I get so pissed off at Windows Zero that I say, I'm not doing this anymore. I got Linux Mint, and I will put a virtual machine, Windows machine for any applications that I can't, figure out an alternative to. But then invariably, I come across some project like a big video editing project or something where you really need to have the power and the virtual machine isn't snappy enough for me, and it's slow, so I give up and go back to stupid Windows. The fact that they want us to pay it, and Zero says Linux Bros for the win, suffer Windows. Yeah, I am a big Linux supporter for everything but video editing and music production. I will use a Linux computer for everything. I mean, what do? You browse, you play some games, whatever. Frank says I still use DOS on a machine. Funny you should mention that, because I had a friend who had like a dream Windows 98, really ridiculous, like the best Windows 98 computer you could possibly get, with all the error appropriate, like a Sound Blaster 64. I don't remember what the video card is in it, but it was like the best video card you could get for Windows 98. And I bribed him into letting me have that machine, which was sitting in his junk pile. And I got to tell you, I love old DOS games and things like that. So we're going to get, I guess we're finished the tech hour portion of tonight's broadcast. We'll get into the clips, my friends, because, one second here. Let me get that. So we're going to go through the clips, and, what can I say, friends? David Wilcock is lying again. Oh, David Wilcock. Yeah, and so Macario, this is where, before we do that, let's take a look at something. Days until May 31st, 2025. So, friends, how long? All right, we're going to share that tab. Yeah, look at that. That is something. Oh, wait, we're not sharing the tab. Why are we not? Let's go. All right, we'll do this. All right, so David Wilcock has said that a mass ascension event, worldwide global ascension event, is happening by May of 2025. And my birthday happens to be May 31st. So this year for my birthday, David Wilcock got me his two biggest predictions from the Archangel Michael failing miserably, proving that he's been conning and scamming people for $333 for what, a year or two now, with false, fake, prophetic predictions from a fake angel. That's what I get for my birthday this year. David Wilcock is in panic mode because there's only 118 days left on his current grift, which, for those, if you're unaware, his current grift is give me $333 for these secret, sacred books of knowledge from this angel, the Archangel Michael, who's given me all of these predictions. So two of the big ones is the mass global ascension event is going to happen by May of 2025. And then we're also going to have an extraterrestrial ET worldwide contact event in which angelic looking extraterrestrial aliens, I guess Nordic aliens, right? Those hot blonde ones. There's going to be a mass contact event by May of 2025. So what we know is when these things don't happen, that he's been scamming his audience again. He's been conning everybody for fake prophetic information. But David Wilcock is in panic mode right now. Here we see this. Now he is making sure to leave the dates open for change. It's all a guess now. Does that mean he's not a prophet now? Oh, and let me put my fair use banner up. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public and critiquing the video in which we are sharing. This is a transformative work used for educational purposes, certainly covered under fair use. I'll be critiquing and commenting on the video. This is fair use.
From highly the most highly credentialed and vetted intel sources available from the Alliance, this positive group that's trying to defeat evil on Earth. You know what?
Wait, we got to back that up. He's hearing from the most highly credentialed people. Yeah, because, I'm sure that like Congress people and senators and people working on top secret black projects with top secret clearances, I'm sure many of them are like, you know what? There's a lot of stuff going on. I need to call up that guy from Ancient Aliens, and let him know about all of this so he can scam his followers with this information. Come on, Wilcock.
From the most highly credentialed and vetted intel sources available
vetted
from the Alliance, this positive group that's trying to defeat evil on Earth.
And by the way, the Alliance was made up by that senile old man, Pete Peterson, who was a fake doctor with a fake education and a completely and totally fake resume, who ran pump and dump stock scams. That's his source for all of this Alliance bullshit.
You know what? They are saying that we are going to see a blue beam event, and they use the word near. Now, near could mean less than 2 weeks.
When he says Alliance, he means Q-tard Telegram people. The Q-tard people on Telegram are saying this stuff.
I'm going to make a credible case in today's show.
Oh, we're going to get a fake alien invasion within 2 weeks. Well, tick-tock, David Wilcock, because a week's already gone by since you said this. We got one more week to an alien invasion, apparently. A fake alien invasion with holograms.
That I think that we may actually see some sort of fake alien event, maybe in less than 2 weeks. I mean, near.
Well, if the Archangel Michael can predict the future, why don't you just ask the Archangel Michael, who you claim to be in constant communication with, when the fake alien invasion event is going to happen, and give us the definitive date? Oh, that's right. He can't do that because this Archangel Michael he claims to be talking to is one of his imaginary friends. There, I said it. And how dumb as rocks are his followers? His followers are dumb as shit. There, I said it.
Is not a word that's easy to define. You could have different opinions on what that means. But the point is, it's not far away. We're dealing with something that's close at hand.
Oh, but he can't tell us when. Well, I don't understand. Why can't he tell us when? Right? Why can't he tell us when? He's a prophet. And now he's crying and complaining about the deposition that he's going to have to give. Because he's going to have to, look, there's two possibilities with this deposition with the Gaia Incorporated lawsuit against Corey Good. Either he's going to have to incriminate him. This is my opinion. I'm entitled to it. Either he's going to have to incriminate himself, or he's going to have to incriminate Corey Good. Which of those two people do we think he's going to throw under the bus and incriminate to save his own skin? Of course, he's going to have to throw Corey Good right under the bus and blame all that Gaia stuff and the stock manipulation and attempt to destroy that company after they left, like bitter, angry little children, right? Gaia took their baseball away, so they decided to destroy Gaia, allegedly. And Gaia TV's got hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on lawyers. Corey Good is fucked. And David Wilcock is right in the middle of this. And he's previously said, well, this is voluntary. I don't have to give a deposition. Yes, you do. It's a subpoena. You dummy with a 180 IQ. How stupid are you?
Again, I received this. The reason why I started using it again is I had this inch-thick subpoena, and it's attempted. I'm not going to show you anything more than that. Okay, I flipped the page over. That's how clever I am. But yeah, this is an attempt to try to find me guilty of a crime I was already indemnified for, as I've said. And yes,
he had some kind of settlement with Gaia TV years ago. I think it was 2018. But they can still call you to testify against Corey Good.
Unfortunately, things like this are very depressing, and that's why I ended up having this, usage of medication again.
He says medication. He means cannabis. And I don't even understand, but he's always trying to make his audience feel sorry for him. I don't even know. I'm going to ask Google, is cannabis legal in Colorado? Does anybody in the audience in Colorado? I think it is. I don't know. And why is this such a big issue? Colorado residents can purchase marijuana from a licensed retailer and possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana at a time. So marijuana is not even illegal. But he's, oh, I had a relapse. Feel sorry for me and give me money. I had to smoke some cannabis because I'm so stressed out about this legal case. And meanwhile, he's threatening me to bring a legal case against me. David Wilcock, are you this stupid? Do you really need more legal problems? So let's review. David Wilcock is being hauled in to do a deposition and have to testify ostensibly, I believe, against Corey Good for Gaia Corporation. That's a big problem for him, and he doesn't really want to do that because he knows what a bitter, vengeful, angry little man Corey Good is. Is Corey Good going to sue him after he testifies against Corey Good? Oh, it's going to be good, friends. What else would Corey Good be willing to do after he gets attacked by David Wilcock? David Wilcock is 100% for sure, in my opinion, going to throw Corey Good under the bus in that court case. So David Wilcock's got a lot of legal problems. Besides the Gaia lawsuit against Corey Good, David, how many liens, how many IRS liens do you have against your home at this point, or against you and your wife? To the best of my knowledge and recollection, there's two of them. Wasn't one of them like $70,000 or $80,000, and the other one is like $50,000? So there's that. He claims he's $1.5 million in IRS tax debt. So there's that. That's a big legal problem if you're $1.5 million in debt to the IRS, because they could come and start seizing his assets, including his home, bank accounts, checking accounts. He's previously mentioned that they just took money out of one of his bank accounts. That's a big legal problem. Besides that, his company, Stevati Aerospace, that he's so proud of, is getting sued by investors. I believe they're getting sued by creditors as well. That's a big legal problem. So he's got all these legal problems. Then, of course, apparently there's an open investigation by the Colorado Wildlife Bureau or whatever, because he's feeding moose on live stream, which is illegal in the state of Colorado. So there's an open investigation into that. There may be an open ATF investigation into, they won't confirm or deny if an investigation is ongoing. By the way, I spoke to my contact at the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives just Friday. I spoke to them just yesterday. They won't confirm or deny that an investigation is taking place, but we do know that Stevati Aerospace actively is trying to sell people dynamite. And we do know they don't have a federal firearms license to sell ammunition, and they're trying to sell people ammunition. Then we've been unable, the FOIA requests to get to the truth of whether they have a federal explosives license to sell things like dynamite, mortars, rockets, and missiles. They won't confirm or deny that they do or do not have it. So, David Wilcock, show us the licenses, or is your company a scam? Is your company a scam? Because only a scam company would try to sell people dynamite without the proper federal licensing to do so. And that could be huge legal problems for you and everybody on your board who's sending out 15% off Black Friday sale on dynamite, bombs, and explosives. Show us the goddamn licenses if your company's not a scam and lying to people and doesn't have the legal right or authority to sell ammunition, bombs, explosives, and dynamite. And by the way, I'm the one reporting on all this, literally almost the only one reporting on this. Maybe also, I'm not the only one. There's Hidden in Plain Sight is reporting on this. And so with all of these legal problems going on, David Wilcock is telling people he's going to get me arrested. He's going to get me criminally prosecuted. There's an open criminal. They said there's an open criminal investigation into you already. We have the receipts, David Wilcock, but you're going to get me criminally prosecuted for what? For what? For telling people the truth while you're lying to them? This is the wacky world of Wilcock. It's just ridiculous. All right, well, let's go to the next one.
I am one of those people
Here it is.
who
Macario says he had to be bailed out again from his sugar daddy. Yeah, what's he doing to get all this money from this mysterious benefactor? He says he belongs to the percentage of Americans that has less than $1,000 to $250,000 a year, $10,000 to $20,000 a month, but he's just like everyone else. Uh, he is saying now, when referring to his one troll, I wonder if somebody told him to shut up and stop saying it is Steven. He's trying to cover himself now. Yeah, and again, if you're going to blame me for things, you little coward, you pussy. If you're going to blame me for things, say my name. And don't just say Steven Cambian, say Steven Cambian from the Truth Seekers YouTube show. I challenge him. Why won't you, if I'm such a terrible person and I'm lying, why won't you let your audience see all the receipts I have, David Wilcock? The grift is coming crashing down. The grift is coming crashing down, David Wilcock. You only have 118 days left on this current grift before everyone will know that you lied to everybody again. Oh, man. We'll take a moment I got to take a moment here to catch up with the live chat. Oh, we've got another one. Charles Rowland with one for the goal says, Steve is the new Art Bell. I grew up listening to Art Bell, loved Art Bell. He's one of the reasons that I have a show. Thomas Robinson with £1.99 with a thumbs up. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We've got E.T. with a kind and generous $2 who says Steve is the new Royce Myers. That would be UFO Watchdog. For those unaware, there used to be a website long before podcasts and everything else called UFOWatchdog.com. And Royce Myers was like me in that he would pick apart these grifters' fake stories and expose them. So that's good company to be in. And I know that ET has been begging me, a couple people have, to get Royce Myers on the show. I'm going to reach out to him and ask him once again. Stormcrow says, I know Wilcock lied. Donald Duck says, but Steven doctored all the evidence if you really want to know the truth about it, bish. No, I didn't doctor any evidence, right? One day, David's detractors will have more views than him, says Science, Evidence, and Fringe. I believe that. But let's go back to this. Remember, David Wilcock has said he made $258,000 last year, and here he's going to cry poor and pretend he's like a normal working, struggling family.
who are in the 59% right now who don't have enough savings for a $1,000 emergency. We are essentially a paycheck-to-paycheck nation. So I do want to thank my benefactor. I'm not going to say too much about it.
Saving his butt. Maybe his butt had something to do with that money that he was given. Oh, no. Suffer, David Wilcock. Are you doing butt stuff for grocery money? What a successful grifter you are. If you got to do butt stuff to get grocery money, then the grift is not working anymore, David Wilcock. It's all coming crashing down. You've only got 118 days left to grift off of this. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do when everybody knows you lied again?
I'm not going to say too much about him. He doesn't want to be identified. Obviously, we have very incredible opposition. But he did save my butt once again. And
so $10,000 or $20,000 a month isn't enough for David Wilcock to live off of. He has to do whatever he has to do to get one of his whale benefactor stupid people to give him money to get by for the month. And here he is admitting that. Great.
Gave a very generous donation that has allowed me to be able to survive. The product sales that I have, your donations are great and they're very important. They do keep me alive, but it wasn't enough.
Here he is. Listen to that. What a weasel. Hey, by the way, I just want to put this on the record. Listen, I'm not getting enough super chats here to survive. All right? I'm trying to survive, and you people are not super chatting enough money for me to survive. I'm not saying this. David Wilcock is saying this. He's getting $10,000 to $20,000 a month from YouTube, and that's not enough. And here he is guilting his followers into giving him more money because he's barely able to survive on $258,000 a year. My God, is this guy ridiculous? All right, let's finish the clip.
Because of the legal bills of fighting the subpoena, because of having to have my tooth finally fixed.
Why are you fighting a subpoena? You can't fight the subpoena. You have to go and appear and do the deposition. Now he's got problems with his fake teeth. Oh, poor David. $258,000 a year isn't enough to take care of your teeth and to hire a lawyer?
And also the ongoing expense of having an 8-person customer service team.
Yeah, this is another cry me a river, David Wilcock. David Wilcock claims that he has to have 8 people, paid staff members, to preserve his echo chamber and not allow people to have free speech in his live chat and on his Twitter threads. Hey, David, here's an idea. Why don't you fire all those people and just let people say whatever they're going to say and have free speech like we do here? We have free speech here. People could come in here and call me a cocksucker. They do it all the time. I don't care. I let people say whatever they're going to say because I can back up everything that I say with facts, evidence, and receipts, documents. We got the body cam footage of you lying through your teeth to that animal control officer. Remember? We have receipts. The reason you need an 8-person staff is because you lie so much that you need 8 people to try to protect those lies and not allow anybody to come into your live chat or your Twitter threads and expose those lies. Why don't you just stop lying to people and then you won't need an 8-person staff to preserve your lies and your grift?
To handle one troll.
It's not one troll.
Literally what we have to do. We have one guy that's doing all this.
I'm not doing any of this. And by the way, David Wilcock, you better stop slandering me, you dumb son of a bitch. How many times are you going to lie, right? And he won't say my name, but everybody knows he's talking about me. Everybody knows you're talking about me. Say my name, you weasel. Are you that afraid of me that you can't say your name? You are terrified. You live in constant fear of me destroying your grift because you've only got 118 more days to grift, dude. I'd be afraid too. You're going to be eating dog food and doing butt stuff to keep your lights on, bro.
And we have 8 people. And so now when I'm going to post something on X, I have to write a letter to them first. And then I copy.
Look, I'm about to make a post. All 8 of you, get ready to delete all the negative comments, but it's only one troll. Listen, even from a logical perspective, does it sound like this makes sense that one person would be able to troll his posts and his live chat so much that he needs 8 people to counteract that one person? I almost wish it was all me so I could take credit for being such a super genius that I'm so good at exposing David Wilcock's lies that he needs an 8-person staff to stop me. But it's not me. It's not all me. It's all different people. And I could show you those people on Twitter, David Wilcock. I've spoken voice to some of them. They're all real people. We've had some of them as guests here. You don't have one troll. Stop lying. Stop lying to your audience. What does it feel like that every day you wake up, you go, I have to go lie to 500,000 people so that I could survive another day? That's your life now, David. You have to lie to 500,000 people.
The link and I put it in there. And this guy is so active that as soon as I let them know, as soon as I post, within 60 to 90 seconds, he's already attacking us with various pseudonyms.
Suffer, bitch.
And so,
but for the record, I only have one Twitter account. That's it. And by the way, David Wilcock, you dumbass, you're telling everybody you're going to sue me for doing all this stuff to you. Do you know you're gonna have to subpoena my internet records, which is going to prove that it's not me making all those posts. You blocked me years ago because you're an intellectual weakling and a coward. I can't post anything. I have only one Twitter account, and I can prove that legally through my own records, and I'll hand them over to you. Stop lying and telling everybody this is all me. It's not. It's a lot of people on the internet who think you're a con artist, a scammer, and a grifter, and that you're taking advantage and you're ripping off vulnerable people and they want to stop you. That and they're exercising their free speech. What do you got against free speech if you're not doing anything wrong? If you're not lying to people, you wouldn't need an 8-person staff to stop people from seeing the counter arguments to your statements, public statements, and lies.
You know, that's expensive. I don't have the money to post very often because I need this army of 8 people to fight this one kid who keeps doing this.
He's calling me a kid again. No, I'm a grown man with a wife and children, bro. Don't call me a kid. This is his attempt to, minimize me or make me lesser than I am, pretending I'm a child. I'm a grown man, David Wilcock. Again, you just lied to 500,000 people characterizing me as a kid.
So thank you very much to my benefactor. You know who you are.
Was the benefactor saving his butt? Was the benefactor really saving his butt, or was the benefactor doing something else to his butt before he gave him the money? That's what I'm just curious. We're just spitballing here. I'm just asking questions.
You know who you are. We're not going to make you public. You don't want to be public. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. All right, we'll go to the next one. And I'm sorry. Sometimes these clips, it takes me forever. I gotta be quicker at getting through these. All right, this last one was the 133 one. Oh, and in case you guys missed it, Stavati is finally getting funded. Never mind that we showed that he's been saying this for 3 years, right? Is it 2 years or 3 years? Stavati may be capitalized in over a week, right? And then what does that mean? You're not going to have to grift off of fake angels anymore?
Is that regardless of what trolls might say, yes, we did sign a $10 million loan.
Why don't you show the paperwork? Why doesn't he show the proof? The trolls are saying that they're never getting capitalized, they're never getting money, they're never getting more investors. And people have a very well-informed basis in which to form that opinion because you're being sued by another creditor. Or excuse me, sued by creditors and sued by former investors who called your business a Ponzi scheme and investment scam. And by the way, David Wilcock then said
that regardless of what...
Then he said that the investors sued them because of me. But I didn't even find out about that case until it was 6 months underway. So that's a false statement. And, David Wilcock, I believe that I'm going to contact that Dmitriev, the person suing Stavati. I'm going to contact their lawyer. And I'm going to ask them for a public statement over whether he sued Stavati Aerospace because of posts or because of my show. And we'll prove that you're lying again. You make it too easy.
What trolls might say, yes, we did sign a $10 million loan.
What happened to the billions of dollars in investment you claimed you were getting for the past, year?
And it may happen in just over a week.
Oh,
at the same time,
the money's coming next week. Again. How many times has he said this? It's so childish and stupid.
As you may know, we are going to be
pathetic.
Creating electric vehicles that are going to be made in America.
Oh, yeah. Listen to this. This guy is so stupid that he's going to sit here and pretend that they can just manufacture electric vehicles in the United States somehow with American workforce. Do you know? Go ask Tesla how much an electric vehicle factory, the machining, and the tooling costs. Probably hundreds of millions of dollars. This guy can't make it through the month, but somehow him and his cookie scammy friends are all going to build an electric vehicle manufacturing plant. I guess in the land of make-believe. And what happened to the hover cars and the airplanes? Now forget about the airplanes and the hover cars. Now we're making electric vehicles with our scammy company that's never produced a single product or service.
By American workers. They're going to be distributed in the U.S. and Canada. And I didn't say this before, but we had 2 other automobile manufacturers after I began publicizing this who went to this company that we're making a deal with. And
none of this makes any sense, because why would a Chinese electric vehicle company, what are they going to do? Just ship all the parts over here and then you're going to assemble them here in the United States? Why would they do that? They have their own facilities. They could just put the car together and ship the car completed, right?
They tried to take our deal from us and run it themselves. And in both cases, they were turned down, which is fascinating.
I think he's just repeating fake stories that this Christopher Beskar from Stevati is telling him. That's my take on this. It's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Because this company wants to work with the startup. They like Chris Beskar. They like us. And they want us to distribute their vehicle. So we're going to brand it with our own name. It will be a Stevati vehicle. So I don't know how long it's going to take for Stevati to get into all the DMVs around the country.
It's going to take 18 years. This will never happen. Mark my words.
We still have to learn that, but there's no time left.
There's no time left. Okay. There's no time left. Wow. He says the electric vehicles will be made here in the U.S., but they have to order cars. He's saying way too much today. Yeah, previously he said that they were just going to distribute the cars. Now he's saying that they're going to manufacture the cars somehow. Which one is it? It can't be both. His benefactor is Jenny McCarthy. No, I think it's a dude. And that saved my butt. That is code. Yeah, it definitely involves some butt stuff. Can you read my deadpan? Says Steven Cambian is stronger than an 8-person staff. Confirmed. Suffer. Yeah. But thank you, Christo, for the kind and generous $5 Australian. That's another one for the goal. And we have Pinzer, my favorite grifter. Hope all is well. Keep being you. Pinzer, long time no see, long time show supporter. Good to see you in the live chat. Thank you. One for the goal. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. I'm always glad to see when I haven't seen somebody in the live chat, when they come back, it makes me feel good. We're still doing good work here. Worthy of returning. Can you read my deadpan? Says, nothing says I'm a professional and you should invest in my business, like selling your doo-doo hole to a benefactor to make ends meet. Suffer. Oh, wow. RoboNext 666, Elon Musk. Yes, absolutely. That's very good. We're going to start calling him Elon Musk. Yeah, but don't worry, he's smarter than Elon Musk. Remember, he has a 180 IQ. His benefactor is George Tagaki, the guy from Star Wars. He's gay. Yeah, maybe it's him. Yeah, I don't know. All right. He's really contradicting himself, because he said that the cars would be made here before. Now they're being made somewhere else. Oh, this is the longer version.
Canada, and
this is the longer version. So let's go over this one.
And they tried to take our deal.
Oh, people trying to take your deals that don't exist.
How long it's going to take for Stevati to get into all the DMVs around the country? We still have to learn that, but there's no time left.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Does this idiot have any idea how much the regulations and licensing to start manufacturing and selling electric vehicles in the United States would cost? Probably hundreds of millions of dollars. That's just a guess. I mean, I don't know.
We have to consolidate, and we have to decide what is the logo that's going to be on the hood of the car.
Right? Oh, this is the most important thing. Not having a factory, not having money to pay workers to build the cars, not having the parts and supplies, not having the robotics technology, the manufacturing equipment, the engineers to design all the manufacturing equipment, the money for the facility. That's not important. You know what the most important thing to David Wilcock for these electric cars is? The hood ornament. This is how you know this is all another fake pie in the sky, never going to happen fantasy from the wacky world of Wilcock.
Right now, we only have less than 30 days left to finalize our hood ornament. Now, you can't really put one. I learned about this. You can't really,
Oh no, we only have a month. We only have a month to design our logo, right? To design our hood ornament. And Macario reminding everybody, here he is saying it. They will make everything in America, but they have to buy 25 electric vehicles first. With the first 10 million, they are going to pay his debt and all the contractors they ripped off. It's funny, Wilcock doesn't know what his cars he was selling is going to look like, but we can see them. Yeah, they showed them before. David is going to do commercials for the cars. I can see him being a slutty car salesman. I think we should design a logo for Stevati. He should delete this whole stream. Yeah, it's contradicting
Jaguar
everything he
has the
said
running
before.
Jaguar right on the front of the hood. Turns out that when people get hit, which obviously if you drive a car, people are going to get hit. If you have a hood ornament that sticks up like that, it actually causes a lot more injuries. So we're probably not going to have anything stick above the hood, but it's probably going to be some kind of a circular logo. But then again, it's like we got to make darn sure that nobody thinks that it's the so-called DS logo, that it's got these occult symbolisms in there,
Oh,
whatever.
can't have that.
That's tricky enough in and of
Yeah,
itself
can't have
because
that, David.
there's all
You know.
these different things you can do that are simple geometry that people are going to say, oh my God, you made this occult symbol, you know? So it's like, well, okay. We have a challenge there, which is to try to find something that isn't actually bad, that looks cool, and that is going to, you know, make our car very distinctive. And we only have less than 30 days to decide.
I don't know about you, but every car I've ever bought, I bought because it had a cool hood ornament on it, right?
So there's a friend of mine who's a visual effects master from Hollywood, and we're talking to him. He's wanted to help us design this all along. And so I'm going to be having a consultation with him tomorrow about that.
Oh.
And in less than 30 days, well, a little over 30 days, but we have 30 days to get the thing done. And then what we're doing is we're ordering the first 25 vehicles. That's part of the deal. We had to place the order.
See, Macario correctly points out, he previously said that they're going to build all the cars in the United States with American workers. Now he's saying they have to order the cars from China. So which one is it? Mariner 1712 with a kind and generous $5. I can't wait for Elon Musk to unveil the new Stevati G.I. Joe electric cars. I wonder if they'll get the ATF licenses to arm them with missiles. Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, we could have electric vehicles that are armed with mortar shells, missiles, and dynamite bombs, according to David Wilcock, right? Thank you, Mariner 1712, for helping us to praise the cash. ML, he is lying about everything, but his hood ornament is more ethical than a Jaguar. See, he cares, says ML. Yes. No, he's not going on about a hood ornament. Yeah, that's what he's worried about, the hood ornament. Not all his legal troubles and everything. No, he's worried about a hood ornament for electric vehicles that they don't even have.
Order. The loan is coming in, so we'll have the money to pay for it.
The loan is coming in. How much does 25 electric vehicles cost? Even if they were, you know, I don't know, even if they were, they're only going to have $10 million. They're going to blow part of that $10 million on, let's say they're 50K, 50 times 25, $1.2 million. You're going to spend $1.2 million on, of the 10. And meanwhile, you owe an investor $5 million. Boy, that $10 million is going to be gone as soon as they get it. Even if they do get it, I don't think they're going to get it. I really don't think they're going to get it.
And the first, they have a total of, I believe, 7 cars in their lineup. And so we're starting with the sports car, the sedan, and the pickup truck. The pickup truck looks like kind of like a Ford F-150. I don't even really know what the sedan looks like. I haven't actually.
Yeah, and that's another thing that makes this whole thing ridiculous. Do you know how much money Elon Musk invested into just like the marketing and getting people to be comfortable with buying an electric car from a brand new company? But he thinks that people are just going to line up to buy these Stevati Chinese rebranded. Oh, it's so stupid.
I've seen a picture of it. Sports car looks pretty much like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. It's very, very amazing.
Okay, it's a very amazing sports car. Let's go to the next one. I'm starting to get aggravated already, and I haven't. Let me check in. We're at 9 of 20 for the goal, so we need 11 more people to hit the goal tonight, and we appreciate all of you kind and generous people who are helping us to praise the cash. And for those unaware, Ra Almighty and the Blue Chicken aliens are command you. You got to praise the cash. We'll take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters and our YouTube channel members as well.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
We're praising the cash tonight, friends. And there's another one for the goal. Dave's Waffle House with smiling face with sunglasses. Someday we'll be able to show these super stickers properly, right? We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Did I miss one? I don't believe I did. All right, let's go to the next clip. Now I'm just posting parts in case he deletes them, says Macario. Oh, he must have said something juicy in this clip.
So, one of the things I'm happy about is that I will probably be one of the very first people in America to own one of these vehicles. And I'm going to be making commercials and filming myself. So in the future, when you're...
I don't know about you, but if you were looking for a car, would you see a commercial from this clown from Ancient Aliens and think, yeah, that's the car I'm going to buy? That would be a detriment, David Wilcock, not a good thing.
On my show here, and I go take a bathroom break, I might show you a little car commercial, get you excited about getting these vehicles. And so another thing I think we're...
Yeah, I think what they might do is they might buy and import a couple of cars from China, and then they can grift pretending that they're going to have hundreds or thousands of these cars to sell, that they're going to start manufacturing them, but then they never will. That is probably the most that we'll see happening. And UFO Shane says that cocaine and meth hit good.
We're going to try to do. I mean, already they're expensive. The sports car is expensive just out of the get-go. Our wholesale cost is already high. So we're going to start making them here. And once we produce them ourselves, our costs will go down.
Oh, that's
but
good.
We're going to try to keep the entry point easy. We're going to try to make it so that they're, we're not going to take excessive profit on this. We're going to try to keep it really streamlined. But it's very exciting because, again, I'm going to be making commercials myself. And, anything that I do is free. We don't have to pay for my advertising because I'm already doing this.
Oh, he's doing
and
it
so
out of
I
the
hope in the
goodness of his
future
heart.
that you
Yes.
guys will, those of you who can, will help us out by getting the most badass electric sports car that you've ever seen.
I'm sorry, the most badass electric sports car you've ever seen is sold by Tesla. You're not going to beat Tesla in being the best electric sports car, period. Teslas will go from 0 to 60 in less than, 3 seconds?
It's got an incredible full color LED display, touch sensitivity. When you get inside of it, it looks like a spaceship, and it looks like a spaceship on the outside.
Oh, it looks like a spaceship. That's why.
So I'm very excited.
That's why the guy from Ancient Aliens is going
about
to make
this
the commercials.
And again, our company is going to have exclusive distributorship in the U.S. and Canada for this product. We got a $10 million loan. We signed it. That was over, a week it's like a week and a half ago now.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't take a week to get a loan. But what do I know? I mean, I'm just a business owner who's gotten loans for various projects. It takes a day or two, but maybe it takes longer if you're getting that much money. I don't know.
And so it might take 30 to 60 days.
Oh, it's going to take 60 days to get the money. So he's got 60 days to lie about the company and all the great things they're doing before he's going to have to make new excuses for why that loan didn't come through and they didn't do anything that he's promising here.
But that's kind of the long estimate. And once we have that, we can settle our lawsuits, our lien. Well, you have one lawsuit.
And they owe that one investor $5 million. And here he is lying through his teeth. And we know he's lying through his teeth. And I'll explain why in a moment.
That was actually the result of a misunderstanding, as I'm about to say. We have a couple people who filed liens on us, and all that stuff is about to be paid off. Plus, I will be able to pay off all of my own debts. The problem is, until we actually get it, I still had that financial need. So again, thank you to my benefactor who bailed me out. That was very, very kind of you. And, we're probably going to get him a sports car.
Oh, he's just going to give him a sports car.
Right. At least when I can afford to, as his reward for having helped me so much. And it's going to be the most badass looking thing you've ever seen driving around in this car.
Yeah, so maybe it's in another clip, but we'll go through the rest of the clip. David Wilcock claims that the investor suing them after the depositions, a few depositions, decided to settle. That's not the case, because when you're in the middle of a lawsuit and you decide that you're going to settle, you have to notify the court with paperwork. And we can see from Pacer Online, there's no mention of any settlement with this Dimitrov, who is suing them for, what is it, David, $5 million? So even if they paid that guy off, even if they got the $10 million loan and then paid that guy off, they owe $500,000 to the creditors that are getting liens on their property, something like $500,000, and they owe $5 million to this previous investor. And then David claims that he put in $1.5 million, but Stavati's going to pay him back. So what is that? 5, 6.5? That's $7 million gone if they do all these pie in the sky things. And they've only got $3 million left to do hover cars, electric vehicles, to sell dynamite, bombs, build missiles, rockets, anti-gravity hover cars, fighter jets, firefighting airplanes, and all kinds. How are they doing all of that with $3 million? This is what David Wilcock doesn't even stop to think, that this is all ridiculous. It's like a child bragging on a playground about having a laser gun, right? Or building a laser gun. And they say, let me see the laser gun. Well, I can't. Excuses. Storm Crow, longtime show supporter, with one for the goal. Thank you for your kindness. Larry Love, $1.99 from Larry Love. Thanks for showing us some love. One for the goal. And here's P18 with a kind and generous $10. Let's effing go. Praise the cash. Yeah, let's get to the goal, friends. We have a very reasonable goal of 20 super chats today. We have dollar cost backpacker with a kind and generous $5 says amazing. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We've got Larry Love with another one. Med beds. This guy's selling alien hospital furniture and hover cars that crash harder than his credibility. Wilcock's like, trust me, bro, it's free energy. Meanwhile, his bank account's charging interest on the grift. Kind of generous $10. You are correct, sir. You are correct. Diddy Company damaged, signed this Fraggle. Yeah. R. Kelly is David Wilcock's benefactor. Well, he did like to piss on people, right? I never understood any of that. I don't understand. So, all right, we've gotten through this one. And Macario is capturing these clips. So, Wilcock, you're not going to be able to lie your way out of this again. It's all on the record. This stuff is on the record. Is this another one?
So it's very exciting.
Oh, by the way, here's the logo. Here's the logo that the hood ornament. Buffalo Spunks made the hood ornament for him. Ha ha! Stavati. Oh, I used to draw an S like that all the time when I was a child because my name is Steven. You know, you make the 3 lines and then another 3 lines and you connect them. Yeah, good stuff. And it looks like it's got 3, adult toys on it. That looks like a good hood ornament for something created by David Wilcock. I think that's pretty good. I do.
So it's very exciting. And again, only one party sued us, and we were supposed to go into depositions this past week.
Yeah, and here he is lying again. Because the one guy who was responsible for taking the money from the investor who feels he got scammed and ripped off did not show up to the deposition. He no-showed. So what David Wilcock says here is completely different from the reality. And by the way, Wilcock, are you this stupid? The court documents confirm that guy no-showed. So you're lying to 500,000 people again.
We only had 2 depositions. And then we had, actually after the first deposition, we had a breakthrough. And now they are moving to settle with us.
And that's not true, because if there was settlement talks taking place, the court has to be notified by law. And I can show you the court docket. There's no notification to the court of any settlements. Wilcock, I think you better start actually doing your own research and stop listening to Christopher Beskar. Maybe Wilcock is getting scammed and conned by another con artist in the form of Stavati, in the form of their CEO. I think The CEO just tells David Wilcock stuff, and he just takes it all as 100% true facts, and then he repeats it like an idiot, making him look stupid to 500,000 people. Anybody can check the court documents, David Wilcock. There's no settlement going on.
Once we get our loan in, they need capitalization, and they actually believed that they were.
Here comes the lies. I didn't even know about that court case until 6 months after it was filed, nor did I report on it. But here David Wilcock is going to blame me for this investor suing them. Hey, David, maybe he sued you because you took $1 million from him and promised him he'd get back 5, and then you never even returned the original $1 million principal investment to him, let alone the $4 million that your company agreed to give him back. And here's how you know you're getting scammed. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If somebody says, give me $1 million, invest in my company, but don't worry, within a year or two, we'll give you back $5 million on your $1 million investment. Yeah, you might be. Yeah, that sounds like a scam to me.
Being scammed by a fraudulent company. Why? Because, again, we have this one guy who's doing all this stuff.
It's all my fault.
And these people have now confirmed that his online trolling caused them to believe that we were what he said, which is con artist grifters, fake company.
Oh, David. Oh. So the investor confirmed that they were misled by my online trolling. I'm going to call that lawyer that represents that person, David Wilcock. I should have done it already, but I haven't yet. But Monday, I'm going to call that lawyer, and I'm going to get an on-the-record statement asking him if his client sued your Stevati Aerospace because he was convinced by online trolling that the company was a scam, or if he sued them because he believed he was scammed because they took $1 million from him and then never gave him any of the money back. Which do we all think is more likely? And I will prove once again, after talking to his lawyer, David Wilcock, that you just lied to 500,000 people again.
Artist grifters, fake company. Until now, they did not realize that these attacks were fake. So this is just one of many, many, many.
Oh, he's sharing graphics from my show. Well, they're not really graphics from my show. They're graphics that I steal from people on Twitter who are felting David Wilcock.
Hundreds of examples of what he was doing. This was a picture of Chris and me in front of our factory, which we're probably going to be doing some of the cars there at some point. There's another possibility.
By the way, I can track down the date of this graphic, and the date of this graphic came a year or more after that investor sued them. But here, David Wilcock is lying to 500,000 people, claiming that things like this convinced that investor who they took $1 million from to sue them. That couldn't be the case. Why don't you show the date of the post? Because I can track down the date of the original post. And it is long. This graphic was generated and posted to Twitter more than a year after that investor sued Stevati Aerospace. So the investor couldn't have seen this and decided that this was the basis to form an opinion that Stevati Aerospace was a scam.
I'm going to do it in Irvine, California. But anyway, he impersonates us. So this is him impersonating Chris Beskar. And he says, you should be more concerned with Stevati going bankrupt and getting audited. David is a con artist. And he says, wanting Stevati is a scam.
Oh, all these people, all these trolls are living rent-free in his head. But David has decided to create an incredible villain called Steven Cambian and blame all of it on them. This, which, by the way, David Wilcock, if any of this goes to a legal situation, do you not think that everybody who was doing these posts will line up to defend me and say, I did it, not Steven Cambian? Here's my IP number. Here's my internet records proving I posted it, not Steven Cambian. And then a judge or a jury is going to see that you're very mentally unstable, having, paranoid delusional thoughts of a fake villain that doesn't exist. It's not going to go well for you, Mr. Wilcock.
So this is not really true. We're not a scam. And
they were called a scam and a Ponzi scheme in court documents by one of the investors who invested $1 million, who is currently suing them.
All that this suing party actually had to do is go look at our website and read it. And now they realize, oh my God, we were misled. You know, these were all lies. You guys are actually real. You're making real airplanes and you're...
Where's the real airplanes? You're not making real airplanes, David. Show us a real airplane. They haven't made one real airplane in 30 years of being in business, but they have collected a lot of investor money. What do they do with it all? Who knows?
You know, these were all lies. You guys are actually real. You're making real airplanes and you're going to be selling them. And so...
They're not making real airplanes. In fact, David Wilcock, you just lied to 500,000 people again. Show us a real airplane that Stevati made. I'm calling your bluff tonight.
They're actually very sorry now, and everything has cleaned up very nicely. All the. I'm
going to ask his lawyer if he's sorry, David Wilcock. In fact, if I can get an interview with the investor's lawyer who is suing Stevati Aerospace, I'm going to do it. We'll host him live here, and we'll show him these clips of you lying, allegedly. I think you're lying to 500,000 people, and we'll have him correct the record, David Wilcock.
Deposition.
You ought to be more careful with the lies.
Got canceled.
No depositions were canceled. The person that took the $1 million check at Stevati Aerospace from this investor didn't show up for his deposition. That's in the public court documents, David, and you know that if you stop listening to Christopher Bescar's lies and actually did a little bit of due diligence yourself, so you don't look stupid lying to a 500,000 people audience like you continually keep doing.
So I can't tell you how great that feels, because nobody likes being in the middle of a lawsuit, and the whole entire board was on docket for depositions. Well, not anymore. They now understand what's going on. We showed them compelling evidence. We're putting together a very significant package.
Yeah, a package of mean tweets. That's what David Wilcock has, a package of mean tweets. That's his evidence.
And another weird thing about these troll attacks is that, and you know, this is just data. I don't know if it means anything yet, but after we got the subpoena...
And this is provably false too, because I can show you people on David Wilcock's Twitter threads that did post mean tweets, if that's what he's calling these terroristic attacks. They didn't pause. They never stopped. They're never going to stop, David. They're never going to stop. You're going to have that 8-person staff for the rest of your life, or the life of your grift.
After I got my subpoena, nothing happened for 3 weeks. And that's pretty suspicious, you know? Like, is there some commonality between this very hateful attack that I got legally and these very hateful attacks online?
He got a subpoena to give a deposition. That's not a hateful attack. And is there some correlation? Oh, are you going to pull the Corey Good? There's a vast criminal conspiracy against me and all these people are colluding together to destroy me kind of a thing? Is that what you're going to do? Because that worked out great for Corey Good, dude. That worked out just so great for Corey Good. Oh my God, how many more do we have? Let's get through this, right?
Certainly very interesting. He's popped up again. He's doing it again now. And
here he is talking about me. Again, say my name, bitch.
Another important point is that this lawsuit destroyed many other deals. When you have a lawsuit over you, a lot of people that would loan you money are like, well, we can't loan to you because you're already
being sued by a previous investor.
Our lawyers won't let us even engage with you. So yeah, for a period of time, this actually did cause a lot of damage. Arrow Eye Love Light says, throw all you can, spare into their pot now for later. Oh, I guess you're saying about donation. Well, thank you. I mean, not sure I really understood that comment.
Yeah, let's get some donuts,
dude, we're already 24 minutes in, 4,330 viewers.
He's only
Derek Mulligan says the little people
viewers
are ready for a battle with the dark side.
You remember when you were getting 20 and 30,000 viewers, I think, live viewers? Now you're down to 4,000. By next year, you're going to be down to 2,000, David Wilcock. And by the year after that, I'll be beating your live numbers.
Leprechauns will save the day. And we have a whole bunch of little clovers there. Patty Sklodowski says, trolls will be trolls. You keep on trucking, David. This is all amazing work. Well, it's not just trolls. It's also terrorism. We actually had death threats come in.
They're terrorists. These people sending mean tweets or tweeting mean things on my Twitter thread. These are terrorists. I'm in danger. I'm in danger.
On Friday and Saturday of last week, including an attempt to blackmail us, saying, how much money do you have? And he was trying to say that there's people in Russia who are mad at us for supplying Ukraine with weapons, and that in order for us to find out who wants to literally blow us up, he threatened everybody on our board with death by explosion.
And I think he's attributing this to me as well, but I'm really unsure. If you're going to accuse me of threatening to blow people up on a public live stream to 500,000 people, David Wilcock, say my name.
Unless we pay him to reveal who these people are so they can be, quote unquote, brought to justice. Well,
and by the way, I categorically deny making any of these kind of threats. I never would do that. I have a wife and children. I'm not risking criminal prosecution to threaten this joker loser.
That's called terrorism. It's very, very serious, and it's blackmail and extortion. So this has gotten really, really wild.
Yeah, is this like the deep state attacks of Emery Smith, where they left a bullet on his counter and you called that terror too? That was all fake. You remember that, right? Or the fake bomb threats at Contact in the Desert and the increased security. He does this. This is a grift, man. He does this to make his followers think that his information is so secret and important that people are threatening him. No, they're not.
But again, the truth is, you can see, I mean, here we are. This is Chris. I didn't get to go on this trip. We didn't really have the money.
Yeah, so Christopher Beskar visited a Chinese auto manufacturer. Great. That doesn't prove any of the other stuff that you're saying.
Near the time. But this is at the headquarters of the auto manufacturer. They are the 8th largest car manufacturer in the world.
That they can.
And I'm not supposed to say yet that that's the car behind us that we're going to be selling. That's going to be in my garage.
Oh, but
it
I'm
just
going to
might
show
be,
it.
you know?
I'm going to show it.
Let's just say that might be the vehicle. That's all I'm allowed to say yet. Okay. But anyway, you can see it's very sexy, sleek, red. It's got a really great nose on it. Looks like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's got the gull.
And remember, he was so concerned with the hood ornament. It looks like there's already a hood ornament on the vehicle. So what are they going to do? They're going to buy these Chinese cars and then what? Take a screwdriver and a crowbar and rip the hood ornament on and then glue a Stevati? That's what they're going to do. They're going to rip the hood ornament off and then they're going to glue a Stevati hood ornament in its place with super glue.
Wing. It's got very cool mag wheels. And when you go inside, you've never seen anything like it. It's a space age interface, full color touchscreen. It's incredible.
Yeah, and John Christian Spadavaccia says the Dmitriev website, or excuse me, the Dmitriev lawsuit, the investor suing them, was filed in February 2023. It wasn't until July 2023 that Steven or I became aware of it. David Wilcock is either mistaken or lying again.
So after we do this settlement, we are likely to get an apology letter from the people who sued us.
All right, I'm going to send this. I'm going to send this to Dmitriev's lawyer and ask the lawyer if Dmitriev, the investor that was ripped off allegedly for $1 million, is going to give them an apology letter as part of the settlement. And if I find out that that's not the case, David, then I'll come back here and report that you lied to 500,000 people again.
Because they genuinely thought that the trolling was real. They said, well, if all this stuff is online about this company, it must be true. No. It's actually just one guy who's very, very dedicated. Maybe somebody's paying him. It seems very likely that somebody is because.
Oh yeah, somebody is paying me. I'm a viewer-supported show. And people are so tired of you lying to people that they're willing to throw a couple of bucks in my hat to keep me investigating your false claims and reporting on them. That's who's paying me, David Wilcock, my audience.
Again, I got a team of 8 people, and within 60 to 90 seconds, no matter when I post, I'm being attacked by all these fake identities, but they have the same exact pattern in all of their speech and in the way that they design the attacks. It's very obviously one person. So we did have somebody who also messed up everything for us and created this weird deal that led to the lawsuit. He did not show up for his deposition. That's very serious.
Yeah, that's the guy who took the $1 million check for Stevati. that they're now throwing under the bus and claiming forged Christopher Bescar's signature, and he didn't have authorization to take that money. But yet Stavati took the money and spent it somehow, I guess. I don't know.
A lot of trouble. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he's just going to declare bankruptcy. That's our theory. But now that we have a deal, all the depositions have been halted.
They haven't been halted, and there is no deal. Because if there was a settlement deal in place, they have to inform the court, and they didn't do that. There's no settlement deal in place. I was looking for a post from Light Warrior, who more eloquently, sort of explains that why David Wilcock is lying about this.
Fine. And another thing that's very, very exciting is that we now
they got another big deal coming
have an order.
I love that this company that's never produced anything constantly has big deals coming in. I can show you on their website where they claimed they had $1 million purchase orders for different products years ago. And then they never produced the products. They never got the money. I don't know.
Coming in for 6 SM-100 firefighter aircraft. So that's what this is right here. This is...
Here's my G.I. Joe toys that I made on my 3D printer. Look how cool.
The tail fin.
Cobra!
Fans always want to break off on this, so let me hold that up there. But this is our firefighting aircraft. Now, if we had these for the California fire, they dump 400 gallons more water or fire retardant than anything else does. We have a green non-toxic foam.
Isn't it always great that he always says that their products are so vastly superior to anything else out there, and yet they can't even make one that's as good as the ones out there to show us. But don't worry, someday we'll make this, and it's so much better than every other airplane that fights fires. They're just worlds ahead of anything else out there. Then why can't you make one, David, except for a 3D printed toy?
This tail design is proprietary to the company. It keeps it from going into a tailspin. You have the water. You can scoop the water in on the bottom. This costs a third as much to build as a C-130. It has more storage capacity.
It's vastly
superior. We got another donation, big one, $200. Thank you very much.
Who's dumb enough to give David Wilcock $200?
Thanks for your courage. It says When in Sedona is the name. Thanks for your courage, David. Much love. The Sullivan family. Thank you guys very much. So,
the Sullivan family, we are very disappointed in you.
Oh, yes.
You're helping a grifter grift. Congratulations.
Fighting aircraft is only going to cost $40 million versus $100 million for the C-130, roughly. So there's a significant cost saving.
I'm sure that there's just piles of people that are lining up to give a company that's never made a single airplane $40 million. I'm sure, David. Oh, I'm sure of it.
The maintenance costs a third as much because there's a lot fewer parts.
He's been talking all this Stavati bragging for 3 or 4 years, right? David, couldn't you guys have made one airplane in 3 years?
The C-130 wasn't even really designed for what it's being used for. And there's no other aircraft company right now that's got new designs ready to go. Another important point, that's why it's so silly that we've been attacked so much, is we've already proven to the Air Force, to the Navy, to the United States military and foreign militaries that are allies with the U.S., that these planes fly in digital simulation. That's called a digital prototype.
Yeah, these planes fly in a computer game. Right? Like, it's like me playing Microsoft Flight Simulator and telling people that I'm a pilot. Who cares? Why aren't they in the real world? Your company's been in business for 30 years. You can't make a single airplane? Larry Love with a kind of generous $9.99. One for the goal says, went from ancient aliens to ancient alibis, the judge said. Where's the med beds? Dude, like, they're extraterrestrials. YouTube drier than a mummy's toenails. Even the Grays hit unsubscribe. Yes! One for the gold. Thank you. And we have Christo with a kind of generous $5. Could Fat Chick Thriller be David Wilcock himself? Could be. Yeah, where's Fat Chick Thriller with those dono bombs tonight? I'm sad. I haven't seen Fat Chick Thriller with one dono tonight. I'm sad. Where are you at? I think we ought to just end the show. I can't do a show without those big, huge dono bombs from Fat Chick Thriller. But Detective is making up for it with a kind and generous $5, saying, "Suffer, Wilcock." Ian Lisk with a kind and generous $10 says, "Suffer, David Wilcock." Yeah, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. I'm trying to catch up to the live chat. We'll check in with our goal here. Oh, we got it. 20. We've hit the goal. Thank you. 3 Havoc. Great. So going to have to put in Temu Stevati electric vehicle ads. Yeah, you can order these electric vehicles on wish.com. That's how good they are. And Stormcrow, I think Stormcrow has the goal hitting. Let's check. Is it? I think Stormcrow had the goal hitting. Yeah, Stormcrow with the goal hitting super chat says, "For the goal. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated." Moody Mongol says, "David doesn't really live in our reality. The gravity field generated by his gigantically dense forehead means he's always out of phase with us mere mortals." Yeah, I think you're right. All right, let's get through the rest of these.
We have a very interesting order that's come in. 6 of these firefighting aircraft, and we've already signed the deal.
Oh, he's already signed the deal.
Everybody on the board has now been made aware that, yeah, David is 7 figures in debt. He's one.
Oh, this is great.
And, this is going to launch our company. It may even come in before the $10 million loan. So from that proceed, we will be able to close out all of our debts, including my debts. Everybody on the board has now been made aware that, yeah, David is 7 figures in debt. He's $1.1 million in debt to the IRS.
Oh, it used to be 1.5. Where did he get 400,000 to pay that down? He used to say it was 1.5 million. Now he only owes the IRS 1.1 million. And I'm just here to ask, like, for real, how long do you have to not pay your taxes? How long do you have to not pay your income tax before you build up a debt of 1.1 million? Right? And that means what? That he didn't pay taxes on like 5 or 8 or 10 million dollars? I don't know. Somebody do the math. What's $1.1 million would be 20% of what? Because income tax is roughly 20%, depending on your tax bracket and all that. But like, he didn't pay taxes on $5 or $6 million of money. What happened to all that money? Why is he so broke?
Sizably large.
I think he spends all his money on dildos. I'm entitled to my opinion. I think he buys a lot of butt plugs, a lot of dildos, and remember when he was married, do you know what his cucumber bill was a month?
Larger than the percentage of it that goes to our airplanes. So the first tranche that we're expecting, which could be in as little as 8 days, is supposedly $42 million.
Yeah, I love this guy constantly talking about these $1 million deals that this company that's never made a single product is getting. They're constantly, listen, that's how you know that this whole company is a joke and a scam. Because if you have a company that's been in business for 30 years and you've never made a single product, you're not constantly getting offered $1 million deals, $10 million deals. Here's a $42 million deal. Who is giving $42 million to a company that never made a single airplane? An idiot might.
And, this is going to launch our company. It may even come in before the $10 million loan. So from that proceed, we will be able to, close out all of our debts, including my debts. Everybody.
Yeah, I wonder, too, what bank is loaning a company $10 million knowing, they ask you what the money's for. And what do you have to say? Like, well, we have to pay an investor back $5 million. Then we have to pay all these creditors that are suing us or threatening to sue us, getting liens on our property. We have to pay them $500,000. Then we have to pay David Wilcock's income tax debt of $1.1 million with this. I don't think a bank would give them a loan for this, but I don't know.
On the board has now been made aware that, yeah, David is 7 figures in debt. He's $1.1 million in debt to the IRS. So all that's going to be canceled out. It's not like I'm going to get rich, but I got to tell you, knowing now how close this is and that this is really going to happen.
This has been close for years. We could play that video for you where he keeps saying the money's coming next week. The money's coming next week. I think Macario found clips that went back to 2022, 2023, saying the money's coming next week. But don't worry, friends. This time it's for real. The money's coming next week.
is a very good thing. So after the fires in the Palisades, we posted something about the firefighting aircraft and how these aircraft are far less expensive than the C-130. They hold more capacity.
Oh, they're so much
and
better.
we need to build these like crazy because wildfire risk keeps on going. So our dedicated troll had this to say on our X page. Lilith, mother of demons. Nothing like exploiting a recent tragedy.
And by the way, that's not me. That is a real person who's not very happy and started making more memes because David Wilcock is going after her.
For investments, good for you. So as I'm saying here, nothing says credibility quite like calling yourself Lilith, mother of demons. You know, that's...
Oh, yeah, you're much more credible because she's Lilith, the mother of demons, and you're David Wilcock, the angel whisperer, right?
Obviously somebody you want to listen to. But again, this is like the same person. He keeps doing all this stuff.
Oh, David Wilcock, you dumbass. Do I have to have Lilith, the mother of demons, come on my show even for a few minutes just to prove that you just lied to a 500,000 strong audience again? You just lied to 500,000 people saying that I, Steven Cambian, am this Lilith, mother of demons. I can message them on Twitter and have them confirm that they are not me and I am not them. Remember, you claimed that me and John Christian Spadavaccia were the same person? You claimed me and Macario Mend were the same person. John was on my show with me at the same time, proving it's not all one person, David Wilcock.
To people in Hollywood, they've never seen anybody get trolled as bad as I've been trolled. This is literally a world historic level of intensity that is unprecedented by any of the top.
Listen to how afraid he is, how obsessed he is with all of this. That means that his brain is melting and we're winning.
Celebrities in the field, and if you're going to start threatening people in a military company or anybody,
nobody's threatening
with
them.
death, and you say that you're from a foreign power and that we're going to blow you up. The accusation was that we were supplying Ukraine with weapons. We haven't sold anything to anyone. We're still raising money. We are not supplying Ukraine with weapons.
Oh, well, that's good news.
In fact, it's a deterrent if we were to do anything with them for a lot of other countries, and so we're probably never going to do anything with them. But anyway, we got this crazy threat, and, you know, all you have to do is go on Google and say, what's the punishment for terror?
Oh, boy. Wow, according to David Wilcock, I might do 16 to 60 years in prison and pay a fine of $50,000. If the act of terrorism results in a loss of life, it is punishable by life in prison. Wow.
It's a Class A felony. It's the highest felony there is. 16 to 60 years in...
And let's be clear, friends. He's saying all this stuff to try to scare me into stopping reporting on him. And I, like I said in the description, or I'm sorry, in the title of tonight's broadcast, I'm calling his bluff. All right, go get me arrested for terrorism, for mean threats. How are you getting people arrested for terrorism for mean tweets, David Wilcock, you dummy?
Prison and a fine of $50,000. Well, that's not a big fine, but yeah, 16 minimum.
David.
And if he actually were to kill somebody, then it's life in prison or the death penalty.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. Anybody who knows me knows that I would never hurt intentionally. The only time that I could see myself intentionally killing somebody is if they were threatening my family, right? Like if it was in some kind of a life or death situation and somebody was threatening my child, either my children or my wife, yeah, then. But no, David Wilcock, this is ridiculous. This is so stupid. I'm calling your bluff. Get me arrested. Get me labeled a domestic terrorist for what? For accurate investigative journalism for years, right? Maybe capitalized and yeah.
Except we got to move forward with the federal government and with terrorism charges, and it's a big deal. We're getting at least 2 attorneys involved in this.
Oh yeah, the guy who can't pay his income tax, who owes $1.1 million, right? The guy who can't afford groceries, he's been crying that he couldn't afford groceries, right? And begging for money. This e-beggar is going to hire 2 attorneys to get me arrested for terrorism. And he's working with the federal government, and they filed reports. Why can't nobody can find the reports, David? There's no police reports about any of this. You know that would be public record, you dumb son of a bitch.
And he is going to receive a lawsuit. There's no question whatsoever. We've gone way too far down the road. The only reason it hasn't already happened simply is we could not afford it. That's really all it was. But we've already put together a lot of evidence, and
they've put together mean tweets, and he clipped a video of me wearing a devil mask. That's his evidence so far.
We're working up the dossier. We are in contact with federal agencies.
No, they're not, according to my sources. They're not. Prove me wrong, David. I'm calling your bluff. Show the reports. Show the reports where you guys went to the FBI. Show the reports where you guys went to the local police. You can't. They don't exist, except in the land of the wacky world of Wilcock and the land of make-believe.
And it is moving forward. So
there's nothing.
You're going to learn about all this stuff coming up. You're going to find out everything. I don't know what else to do. You know, we can't just ignore.
He doesn't know what else to do. How about you address and refute my investigative journalist findings? If I'm wrong, why don't you just prove that I was wrong in any of my reporting? Show me where I got a fact wrong, David, instead of suing me like a weasel, like a Corey Good.
Or obviously, it's very, very bizarre and very scary, but you know, whatever. Okay, so congratulations. You ruined a bunch of our deals. You kept me poor for a really, really long time.
Oh, it's my fault that David Wilcock is poor. Maybe it's your fault for being a grifter for decades. How many millions of dollars did you make grifting off of Corey Good's fake secret space stories? According to court testimony, you've made millions of dollars just on courses while you were grifting with David Wilcock. Grifting with Corey Good. So how were you poor when you were making millions of dollars grifting on fake secret space stories?
Congratulations. But, you know, we're going to do what we have to do. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'm going to do what I have to do. And I will aggressively defend my position, David Wilcock. John Christian Spadavaccia correctly points out every week we're calling the cops and we're writing and filing the lawsuit. There is no evidence either has happened. Drug dealers don't call the cops if you steal their coke. He said back in the fall that he was going to write the lawsuit against Steven Cambian while he was on his Canadian vacation. Bark, bark, bark. That's all he does. Meanwhile, David was in fact the subject of multiple criminal inquiries in 2024 surrounding wildlife. One of those inquiries is still ongoing. Are you going to bark all day, little doggy? Yeah, I agree with John. You know,
except
my mother was very fond of the saying, shit or get off the pot. You remember that saying? My mother said that all the time. Like, it's true, you know? The only thing that does concern me is that eventually David Wilcock is going to have to file a lawsuit against me, or people are going to realize that he just keeps lying about that too. But I would think that's the least of this guy's lies, right? The Archangel Michael prophecies are all coming crashing down in a very short time. Very shortly, all of those are coming crashing down.
Severity of what's going on here, the attacks that we've seen would imply that this person is being paid to do this. We have to have 8 people to fight against this.
Oh,
and it's a constant battle.
It's a constant battle.
So we do think that
those mean tweets, I got to hire 8 people to stop all those mean tweets and these mean people in my live chat.
There are entities behind that, and this individual is going to have to tell us who those individuals are.
This is great. He's saying here that if I don't tell him who all the people sending him mean tweets are, then I'm going to prison. But if I do tell him who's sending all the mean tweets, then I might be able to get a plea deal, right? Like he has some, David, you're not a prosecutor. You're not a law enforcement officer. You don't have the right to get somebody criminally prosecuted, especially without evidence.
He's going to be forced through discovery. He's going to have to surrender information.
No, I'm not. And here's where this gets great. David Wilcock is so stupid that he doesn't realize that I live in the state of Pennsylvania. And this is going to be where, if there was a lawsuit, he'd have to sue me here. I have previously talked about this. There's a very strong journalist shield law in Pennsylvania. I don't have to reveal my sources even under threat of subpoena. I don't have to reveal my sources, even under threat of arrest, due to the very strong journalist shield laws in Philadelphia, or excuse me, in Pennsylvania. And I can demonstrate that some of those people that he's claiming are sending him mean tweets have been some of my sources. I'm not revealing any of them. So go ahead, David, get me arrested, make more false claims. This is so stupid. And another thing, Mr. Wilcock, be sure that you understand that you cannot sue me personally in the state of Pennsylvania. All of my work here is clearly marked, produced by my company. You have to sue my company, and my company has about $40 in that bank account for the company that produces my broadcasts here. So why would you sue a company that has no recoverable assets, right? If you're suing somebody, you're going to want money for the so-called damages, and that company can't pay any damages, really. So I would just declare that company bankrupt and start a new one right after you do something stupid like try to sue me. That's what I'll do, you know. Just don't have the resources to pay a large judgment. Do I think he'll ever get a judgment? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And yeah, I can show Mr. Wilcock and his lawyers multiple cases in which somebody sued a journalist for slander or defamation. There's also something called slap laws in Pennsylvania. I could get it instantly dismissed before it even starts, Wilcock. So you go ahead, go waste $20,000 to get a lawyer to write this all up and use your piss poor evidence to try to get me in some kind of legal trouble. It's not going to work. I'm calling your bluff.
And if not, then the sentence is going to be much, much, much longer.
Yeah, and here he's talking about suing me in civil court, but then he says that I'm going to have he doesn't even know the difference between civil and criminal. Oh, in discovery, we're going to force him to tell us who all these evil people sending mean tweets are. Then he's going to get a criminal sentence. That's not how this works, you dummy.
He's going to be forced through discovery. He's going to have to surrender information. And if
No,
not,
I
then the
won't.
sentence is going to be
Calling
much,
your
much,
bluff.
much longer. So if he gives us something really good, maybe there's some type of plea bargaining he can do. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Oh, I'm so scared of David Wilcock. I'm going to have to make a plea agreement with the prosecutor that's going to prosecute me. I'm getting prosecuted for telling the truth, for exercising my free speech, for doing comedic parodies, making fun of a public figure. Good luck with this one, David Wilcock. Look at how great suing critics worked out for Corey Good. I will wreck him. I will wreck him. I will instantly countersue. And David Wilcock, unlike you, I have a case, and I have receipts, and I have evidence. You told 500,000 people I was a Satan-worshiping child predator with no evidence. You told 500,000 people that I was a terrorist without evidence. You told 500,000 people that I was blackmailing and extorting you without any evidence. All of that is slander and defamation, and it's actionable, you dummy.
But that's all going to be forthcoming. And, lawsuits are public, so you're going to learn everything about this as we move forward and file it.
And I will petition the court to film everything, the depositions, the pretrial hearings, the motions. I will petition the court to film everything because I will inform the court that I need to show the public all of these proceedings in order to clear my good name from the slanderous, defamatory, false statements that David Wilcock has been making about me for quite some time now. And the court is going to grant that. So this is all going to be filmed, all of it, David Wilcock, and I will publish it all.
And as soon as we get the money, we're going to be filing really soon.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to get that Stavati money first, right? And then you're going to have to get $1.1 million for your income tax debt, right? And then you're going to have to pay those income tax liens that you have against you and your wife first. Then you'll get the money to hire a lawyer. Does he have any idea? It's going to be like $20,000 to $50,000 to try to do this to me.
I already got the whole thing basically written. So again, the bigger context is, yes, there's a reason why I'm getting attacked. It's not just because he's jealous. It's not just because he thinks I'm fake. I don't think he really does believe that either.
I do think you're fake, and I can prove it. And I've proven it over and over and over again for years now. I've caught you in more lies than Pinocchio, bro.
I think it's because I represent the alliance. I'm a public face. of this military initiative to try to bring peace to the planet.
And you know that everything you've ever talked about on your show, I can submit as evidence. I can show the PayPal donation scam. I can show the GoFundMe donation scam. I can show the Convergence Pictures LLC. I will subpoena all of your emails, your text communications, your phone call logs, everything, and I'll make it all public. And by the way, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that I saw a certain internet personality say that they would help me if this idiot actually goes through with his ridiculous plans.
So again,
here he's talking about Stephen Greer.
Stephen Greer is not the one attacking us.
Well, then why don't you say my name so people know you're not talking about Greer, but you're talking about me, Steven Cambian. Are you so afraid of me you can't say my name? That bundle of fear, that knot of just total terror in your brain, that's me, David. That's me. And when you look in the mirror every day and that terror, that fear strikes you, you'll know that you can't say my name because you're too much of a coward to do so.
He's been very good to me publicly. He's not, I mean, he's attacked me a bunch of times, but like, whatever.
He's been very good to me. Oh, he also attacked me. Yeah.
Nothing at all like what we're talking about. It is not Stephen Greer. So that's not the Stephen I'm talking about. It's a totally different Stephen.
Well, why don't you say my name then, bitch? Say my name.
So again,
all right, we're good on this one. We'll go to the next. I'm trying to blast through these now.
There was a show that I did. Let me see if I can find it here.
This is great.
Anyway. Yeah. So I don't
now
need to say
Wilcock
that,
has
there was a
directed
show
more
that I did
followers.
That had
he's directed more followers to his stream he did, where he gave out full names of a few of us and accused us all of some vile shit. Yeah, more defamation. You are too bright, David Wilcock. You're dumb as shit.
Where we fully exposed who this person is. And I will. Let me go find that real quick.
Yeah, why don't you just say my name? Why don't you just say my name? You can't. That terror knot in his brain won't let him say my full name. John Christian Spadavacci says, sweet, my ex-engagement metrics are going to get another bump. David had mentioned back in November that he had secured a multi-billion-dollar investment. That's right, billions with a B.
I will tell you, if you want to go find out all the information, it's called The Shift is Hitting the Fan. And I think it was in July or thereabouts where we did that show. So you go back to youtube.com/David Wilcock 333.
I saved that show and I called it wilcockslander.mp4. And I will be submitting that as evidence in my countersuit.
You can go in there and you can find old shows by clicking on the live tab. This is something that I've done myself a disservice, actually, that I don't make.
He's had a YouTube channel longer than me, but he doesn't know how to work it. But he's got a 180 IQ. He's a genius, right?
Pre-made videos.
He's the head of
only doing live streams. So you got to go to my page.
Or scan fatty aerospace.
You got to click on the button at the top that says live. That brings up all the shows. You look up Shift is Hitting the Fan. And this is where we did a comprehensive expose without giving away the name other than the first name, but showing you a bunch of posts and long-term data on this situation. So again, we really were willing to forgive over and over and over again. We've overlooked so much stuff. The police have been begging me to file this already.
Yeah, we proved that was fake. No police begged them to do anything. We have the whole phone call where you talk to the animal control officer. They didn't beg you to sue anybody. You're making this up because you're a grifty liar. You're a con artist and a scammer that has been scamming stupid people for fake stories for decades. And I can prove that in court. Meanwhile, he can't prove any of the shit that he's accusing me of in court. Remember when he claimed I got him swatted? David Wilcock, I am going to make the judge and the jury laugh you out of court. All I have to do is show them you saying that I got you swatted 25 times and then show them the body cam. There was no swatting. And that proves you're a liar. Then they're going to question everything you say in that courtroom.
They said, David, you really need to do this. It's like, well, we don't have the money, really. That's what it comes down to. Lawsuits are going to cost you're going to pay $20,000 up front for the retainer to get it going.
At least. And meanwhile, you're claiming that you're millions of dollars in debt. Your company's $5 million in debt or more, $5.5 million in debt. But suddenly you're going to have money to stop my free speech. Right? Elmo says, but they're all the same person. Steven from Canada. I love the AI of John and Steven uses on his show because it's just one kid, right? And Buffalo Spunk says, cops don't beg people to file lawsuits. He's so full of it. Didn't he claim the lawsuits were filed already? Poor David. Yeah, poor David, right? Yeah, come on, poor David.
So you got to have money to do that. Well, we're about to. So
yeah, if the loans come through that you've been talking about for years and years and years, they've never come through.
There was
sorry, that's the last one. Yeah, and here is the bad news. Some stupid person gave David Wilcock a $500 super chat. So what we'll be able to prove in our countersuit is that David Wilcock is collecting money while slandering me to the tune of $500. This is just one example, David. We've collected examples, every super chat that you've collected while you were slandering and lying about me and making false claims and false accusations. We've already collected. Talk about lawsuits, Mr. Wilcock. I'll be able to prove to a court of law that you were collecting money while you were slandering and defaming me. But good luck. Good luck, bro. You're going to need it.
I might very well be invited to be a part of it. I hope that whatever I do is not going to force me to stop working with Stavati. I'd love to be able to keep working on the hover cars. I think that's very, very important. So
yeah, the hover cars you've been promising for 3 years and delivering nothing.
Hopefully that's what's going to happen. But right now, Elon Musk is able to stay involved in Tesla and do the government of...
Here he is comparing himself to Elon Musk because, he's such a genius.
The Department of Efficiency. So I think that's a very positive sign that if I were to help in some capacity, I wouldn't need to give up my company either. I really don't want to be honest with you. It's important that I do these vehicles and this stuff.
It's important. And Macario just says he is beyond delusional. Elmo says comparing himself to Elon Musk. If he can do it, so can David Wilcock. Yeah, this is where we get to the point of delusion. He is too busy to help Elon with SpaceX, right? Oh, man. This guy lives in his own fantasy world. He really does.
We got 5,200 people here. This is one of the biggest live streams they do, and I have no problem paying our own way. I don't want to be a mooch. I don't want to be a freeloader. I'm accused of being a grifter. I'm really not. So we're actually making it good for this platform.
Oh God, all these trolls, and by the way, it's much more than one, are all living rent free in his brain. He can't stop repeating that people are accusing him of being a con artist. Let me tell you something. If you're actually a scamming con artist, a bad thing to do is to remind your audience that people are constantly accusing you of being a con artist.
Platform. And I have no problem with, again, paying. I would feel worse if we were trying to do everything and then expect them to pay for us.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, most of the money goes to me. It's 70% or 60%, something like that. But anyway, it really does help. The income from these donations that you've been giving me have been my main source of income. I haven't felt comfortable doing the t-shirt game or doing the pre-roll or mid-roll game. Frankly, I'm offered $10,000 for 60 seconds to advertise. If I really was about money, I would take the money.
Yeah. Meanwhile, listen, you just announced to the IRS that you're turning down work that would be very profitable and enable you to pay your debts with them quicker. You dummy.
But I'm not. So if I knocked out 4 of those, I could do $40,000 a show. I haven't done that at all. Why? Because when you get advertising money, the advertiser says, we don't like it. We don't like what you said here. You got to change.
He's too ethical and he has too much good morality to take advertiser money. Come on. You're going to turn down 40. He's claimed right here that he's turning down $40,000 a month. By the way, Wilcock, in my countersuit, I'm going to subpoena those offers and we'll prove whether you were lying or not. Right?
change this, da, 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 da. So when you get to 500,000 subscribers, that's the kind of money you can make from advertising. And, you know, under normal circumstances, it might be awesome, but not when you got all this smoking gun stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Why would he be begging his followers for, you know, for dollar super chats if he could just make 40,000 by doing 4 60-minute or 60-second ads? I think he's lying here. He's making it up. Nobody's offering him ads. Nobody's offering him these deals, right? It's just more Wilcock slop.
I've been blessed and cursed with being Archangel Michael's modern day messenger.
Oh, sure.
It's a very difficult path. I've been completely, you know, impoverished for over 3 years since my divorce, living in this 8 months a year. It's like being in a Siberian isolation. You know, one of the greatest punishments, if not the greatest.
He lives in Colorado. Don't live in Colorado if you don't like cold weather, you pussy.
Punishment you can give somebody in prison is solitary confinement. I've been solitary for over 3 years now in a Siberian climate.
Colorado is not a Siberian climate, David Wilcock. You're lying to 500,000 subscribers again, trying to garner sympathy so more people send you money because you're a greedy, e-begging grifter.
And, you know, with hardly any money at all, just barely enough money for food. Sometimes
barely enough money for food. He said he made $258,000 last year, but he's got barely enough money for food.
Sometimes I don't eat enough food because I don't have enough money for food. Right now, thankfully, that's not happening, but it has happened off and on.
Oh, poor David Wilcock is telling his audience that he's starving and he needs more super chats. And by the way, this is how you know that he's a scumbag. Because what kind of a person who collects $258,000 a year from YouTube alone is telling his audience, I don't have enough money to eat and I need more. He's not saying it, but he's implying he needs more donations. Larry Love says, Steven, how does it feel to beat a con man? You won. Yeah, I mean, it feels good to be doing a public benefit and to be exposing them so that they don't take advantage of any more people. And we have Cave Teeth with a kind and generous $4.99 says, we didn't sell anything to Ukraine. We just loaned it to them. Well, thank you for your kindness. Lily with a kind and generous $5. Lily from X here would love to come on the show and prove I'm not you. I will send you a message. My DMs are open, Lily. You can send me a message because every time that we prove that David Wilcock lied to 500,000 subscribers, an angel laughs at him. And my new goal in life is that every time David Wilcock lies, he hears angels laughing at him in his ears. So if you can help me prove that one data point that he's lying to his audience, I would love to have you on the show because it's funny. And maybe you could just go through one of the shows with me and we'll both shit all over these clips, right? Thank you, Lily. The mother of demons, Complizer with a kind and generous $2.69 says David Wilcock, David Wilcox. Yeah, basically. David once. Yeah, okay. I don't want to say that, but thank you, Complizer. Longtime show supporter, Complizer with another one. Meth heads and meth beds floating in UAP. And we have Zamalina. Steven, you need to protect Gravitor merch. You need Project Gravitor merch for Grip Month. Yeah, and by the way, I've recently gotten some help for Grip Month. Wait till you guys see some of the videos we're developing. Complizer with another one for 212. 2012 near UAP filled milk bottles. Piss closure is coming. Yes, the piss closure is coming, man. You know, and that's one of my favorite things. Him telling his audience that you got to take baths in your own urine to get superpowers, and the Archangel Michael told him to do that. What kind of an angel tells people to take baths in piss? I'm sorry, I don't believe him, and I'm entitled to that belief.
And I'm too busy. Also, that's another reason I'm just not going to grocery stores. So, you guys and these donations, yeah, okay, maybe they're getting 40%, but whatever. You guys have been keeping me alive, so. Thank you, Ed.
He's literally telling his audience, your super chats are keeping me alive.
Ed Creeder. Thank you, Roger Zabarik. Thank you, Krista Litchens.
What about Tarantina?
Thank you, Tarotina.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to so many.
Tarantina is one of his slob, like 60-year-old gooner fans that came into my live chat once and then copyright claimed us falsely.
Many of you who have helped, and I really am very appreciative of that.
Yeah, he's so appreciative that he's going to keep taking advantage of stupid people.
If the release of these files is their final red line, then they're probably going to hit really big before the files emerge on February 6th.
Oh, the JFK files. Of course he's going to grift off of that.
The DOD just announced they are going dark for, wait for it, 10 days. So here is the...
Oh, come on, with the 10 days of darkness. Come on. You talk about mass arrests. He's been talking about mass arrests for decades.
Starting on January 25th, which brings us right to February 4th, which is literally only 2 days before the release of these files. Oh, my God.
He's so stupid. They're not releasing the files on February 4th. They have to have a plan to release the files.
And if you want to read the rest, you want to...
He can't even get basic facts right. That's why I laugh when he talks about what a great researcher he is.
Pause a little bit. I don't have time to do it all. But it says, you know, inform service members, military families, veterans, base partners, visitors about activities, da-da-da-da-da. So it does not apply to normal base installation activities.
Yeah, and Macario says, so now the 10 days of darkness is the social media accounts for the DOD being on hold for 10 days, except for border operations and base activities. It's no longer a countrywide blackout, no internet, no cell service, and videos of arrests playing on the TV nonstop. The DOD will not be tweeting on X. David Wilcock has to be one of the stupidest UFO grifters. And like Warrior says, these dipshits always move the goalposts. Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Let's go to the next clip. We're almost, God, how much more?
Talking about this stuff.
Wow, look at that bald spot. Wow, we gotta clip that. We're gonna use that. Bald spot. Look at how bald he is. Oh shit, David Wilcock, look how bald you are. Oh, we can make a funny video where we just do this, like rocking to the beat, him and his bald head. Great, thanks for giving us that, David Wilcock.
Just get it really nice and wild, you know. Okay, talking about this.
Whoa, ugh, ugh. His hair is trying to escape.
Are they going to let the clock run out? Oh yeah, let's just let the JFK files come out. No big deal. No, dude, it might happen. So I'm in full tactical readiness. This is why there's no way I was going to miss doing the show today.
He's at full.
I'm sorry, I have to
readiness.
talk faster than I usually want to, but I got to get all this stuff out for you because again, I don't care if it takes 6 hours. We got to get this information put on public record. You need to hear what's going on. I'm up against death threats, terrorism, blackmail, extortion.
Oh, God. He's up against death threats, terror threats, blackmail, and extortion. Who would extort him to stop, like, sharing Q-tard posts on YouTube, right? You better stop sharing those Q-tard posts or we're gonna terrorize you.
Same thing that's happened to him. We have very similar karma.
He's always comparing himself to
47
Trump.
and me, using English properly. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not doing all my funny gay characters today, but like, you know.
Oh yeah, because people really come there to see that.
We really need to get through this stuff, and I'm already, you know, I wanted to be farther along at the 2 hour mark than I am. We're coming up on 2 hours. So we've been expecting 10 days of darkness, 10 days of darkness, 10 days of darkness. I've talked about it so many times. They've linked to it in so many other posts. And now we have the DOD going into darkness on social media for 10 days.
Oh, God. Is he really going to try to pretend that he predicted this?
Dude, if you can't figure out they're getting ready to do something, I don't know what to tell you, but there's even more. We're still not done with all this crazy evidence.
Mass arrests.
Okay. So here's another one. You remember those 88,000 IRS agents? They want to kick in your door if you haven't paid your taxes, you're behind. They want to arrest you, seize your property, throw you in prison. Get a load of this, dude. Leading report says, breaking. He has announced plans to either terminate nearly 88,000 of these new hires, or they will have to be reassigned to the border. It's so freaking great, isn't it?
I'm going to clip that anyway. He's probably happy because he owes the IRS so much money that may take some of the problems off his hands.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously being 7 figures in debt to the IRS, I am totally sympathetic to, like, yeah, we don't want a bunch of these people with weapons, you know, taking down ordinary Americans who have been damaged by this evil agenda, because one of the things evil loves is to keep you bankrupt, because then you're always in pain. You can't have fun. You can't go see movies. You can't go on a vacation. You can't go to the restaurant. You can't buy new clothes and your clothes are falling apart.
He's been crying about being poor for like 2 years now while he's making $250,000 a year.
You can't fix your car when your car is broken. You may not have enough money to put the temperature up to 72. You may have to keep your heat at 68 during the winter. You may not be able to travel because you can't afford gasoline. Living in poverty frickin' sucks. Believe me, I know. I've been doing it for over 3 years now.
Yes, he's been living in poverty in a $2 million mansion, friends. He's living in poverty in a $2 million mansion. I would pay good money to see David Wilcock be homeless on like the streets of Philadelphia. And you know, I know that's mean, right? That's mean. Nobody should be homeless, let alone homeless on the streets of Philadelphia. But this guy's claiming that he's been living in poverty while the entire time he's been living in a multi-million dollar mansion. It makes me want to be, it makes me angry. Like, there's people really struggling. Shrew my puppy, Woo Land Want CCK Golden Shower Slayer, says Complizaire. Well, thank you for that. I don't even really know what that means, but we thank you for your £2.66, is that super chat? Steve, send him to K&A. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Let's put him in K&A. You want to see people that are living in poverty, David Wilcock? You want to be able to claim that you're living in poverty? Go live in Kensington, bro. Go live in Kensington. I lived in Kensington for a while. It's a rough place. Wouldn't wish it on anybody. Somebody tried to steal the air conditioner out of my front window while it was running, bro. And I had to run outside with a baseball bat and fight and like threaten them. And then, but tweakers are, crackheads and meth heads are very timid when they're like confronted. They back down usually, right? Yes, send Wilcock to Kensington. We ought to start a whole movement. Send David Wilcock to Kensington, right? Shrieks. Yes, we're gonna send him to. He should go to Kensington. He wouldn't last one day there, bro, with real poor people, right? But he's gonna cry and complain that he don't have any money.
If I was a grifter, then I'm not a very good one, because how did I end up so broke?
You've got a multi-million-dollar mansion you bought with grifting money. You've got vehicles you bought with grifting money. You go on super expensive vacations with grifting money.
And why don't I ever promote my own company on X? Well, again, Stavatiero is, please go sign up for that, subscribe to that. That way, when we get trolled, you can write your own stuff so that it doesn't just look like we're hated by everybody.
No, you're hated by everybody, David. It's not that. It looks like that because that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening.
Because it looks like they've already built a
Oh, look at this. So now the mass arrests are coming. David Wilcock and his followers are some of the dumbest people, says Macario. How many years have people been saying they built something in front of the White House for trials?
Structure in front of the White House where this is all going to come to a head. Oh, you don't believe me? Oh, David, F you. No, wait a minute. Shannon Campbell posted this. And let's see, I can't really.
Mass arrests are coming again, friends.
2,600 likes, 155,000 views.
Again.
When is he going to talk about this structure in his front yard?
Says they
there it is
Wilco.
Up close. I mean, it's got lights hanging down so you can see that it could run during the night.
Yes.
It looks like there's surveillance.
I always forget that. That's very important. David Wilcock is living in poverty in a multi-million-dollar mansion with heated floors. He's living in poverty. Right? Lily says, I got a few haters thanks to him making that comment. Well, yeah, but you made a few friends like me, so it all balances out. His followers are dumb as rocks, right? They're dumb as shit They have to be to believe anything this guy says. You know, it's like that old joke. You know how you know Wilcock is lying? His lips are moving.
Cameras everywhere, and you can see there's like a lean-to or gazebo on the right where people could all be gathered in a group. This is exactly what you would expect to see as a setup for a trial where there are people watching the trial.
There's going to be mass arrests and public trials,
That would be, so under the lean-to on the right would be all the world media and the cameras, and people are being prosecuted. Now, does it mean that anybody is going to receive the death penalty?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be designed to scare them into thinking that, because maybe when they're scared of that, they're going to do more useful things that then get them in more trouble. I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not. They might just be getting prison sentences, but this would be a way to have people getting walked along the stage on either the top or the bottom row.
They're dumb as shit.
Justice is being served. They go into their sentence, and it goes on from there. And if you
Lily, he told, just because you have that user ID, he's implying that you're a Satan worshiper. And he told his 500,000 subscriber audience that I'm a Satan worshiper because he found a show I did where I wore a devil mask. And that was his only evidence that I'm a devil worshiper.
Still don't believe me. This came out a few days ago. The General is another one of the Alliance sources.
Man, the mass arrests are coming any day now, friends. The mass arrests are coming any day now.
I pray for their healing. I want to love them. I mean, I'm supposedly the reincarnation of King David, right? So that makes it very interesting for me. So yeah, I want to see them heal. But if there's people in leadership that have been controlling the power and doing nasty stuff for a long time, they don't want this to come out. They would literally destroy the planet before they would be exposed.
Oh God, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Public trials.
We have the V for Vendetta hat that she wore at the
she wore a hat. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
This was on January 21st. Got the logo of the spaceship in the white collar around her neck before the black.
Talk about connecting dots that don't even exist. These idiots really are stretching, says Macario. And Buffalo Spunk says, oh my God, I can't. And again, that's public Q-tard posts.
He will be well insulated, protected on Air Force One and abroad in classified locations.
David Wilcock thinks that he's so important that the military would come and pick him up.
As these operations...
Anonymous Q-tard posts. This is what David Wilcock is feeding his followers. Anonymous shit-tard, Q-tard posts. Oh, man.
Meaning arrests are conducted.
No matter how dumb you think David Wilcock and his followers are, they're even dumber than that.
Due to the nature of the entrenchment. In other words, everybody's going to try to take him down as this happens. And they may need to protect me too. I fully expect that the Alliance might come and get me when this happens. I'm ready for anything, you guys.
Oh, yeah. The military is going to come and pick up David Wilcock because he's just so important.
10 Days of Darkness has already happened.
That didn't happen, you dumbass. Not like you described it for years.
The scaffolding is already in front of the White House.
Yeah, it was there for the inauguration or something. It doesn't have anything to do with public hangings or trial, you dumbass.
Health agency's already on, no disclosure. Files are about to be released. Project Bluebeam is near.
Woo. Yeah. Oh, geez.
Woo! Dang. All right, yeah. So there you go.
Do you hear the excitement in his voice when he looks at a woman in the picture? Yeah, I don't hear it either. I think he was trying to hold back. Well, according to David Wilcock, vagina makes him ill. He gets physically ill when he gets close to a vagina.
Kiki says, David, are you going back to Cali? We're probably going to have our first office in Irvine, but I don't really...
He has high hopes for Stavati, and he believes that he's going to be hanging out with Trump. The way he says for the lawyers to keep it to Corey is hilarious. He ratted him out already, and now he has no more info.
Want to live in Irvine? The fires and everything kind of freak me out, but maybe I'll go to Sedona, and if I need to go to a meeting, I can drive in, stay in a hotel. I just got to see how it unfolds. I may end up living in D.C.
Or he could be living at a $4,000 a week Airbnb. Remember that when he had a $4,000 Airbnb?
Living in Florida. for various reasons you can
But
probably
he's
expect.
struggling. He can barely survive while he's ordering $4,000 Airbnbs. But hey, give him more money, you stupid people.
I'm ready for anything, you know. That's why getting clean right now is good, because it's a heck of a lot easier
He's
to
getting
travel that
clean.
way.
Clean from
FLA
cannabis.
Patriot says we would love to have you in Florida. Yeah. If MAL is where I end up going, then, you know, that's fine. I think a lot of people in the alliance, including the top levels, are going to be
There is no alliance, David Wilcock. It's an imaginary. It's like your imaginary friends
very happy.
and your imaginary fake whistleblowers and your imaginary fake secret space program insiders and your imaginary government insiders, right? That never were, and your imaginary friends that worked on top secret projects that never did.
Happy to want to hang out with me after what I've done and facing all these crazy threats, extortion, death, terrorism. I mean, Jesus, it's gotten really wild to, you know.
Accurate reporting is terroristic threats to David Wilcock. I guess if you're a grifter and somebody's exposing your grift, yeah, you'd have some terror about that, right?
How many people have this happen to you,
terrorized.
right? Oh, just give us all this stuff so that we can incriminate you, something you were already indemnified for. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Can't wait. Let's just give you every darn thing we ever wrote.
Yeah, you're going to be forced to testify, you little crybaby.
No. You're going after some other guy who I used to work with. Keep it to him. You know, I can't even afford adequate defense right now, but anyway.
Yeah, and listen to this. He can't afford adequate defense for a legal issue that he already has, but then he says that he's going to come up with all this money and sue me. How are you going to do that? If you can't even afford an attorney to defend yourself from Gaia Incorporated, how are you going to come up with even more money to initiate a lawsuit against me?
That's a whole other story. It's been really a wild ride. It's almost over. I'm really happy that all these things are coming to a head.
It's not almost over, David Wilcock. It's just begun. And the terror that you feel will only increase as time goes on.
Officers to avoid cooperation or they will face retaliation. Yeah, what a great idea. Let's admit to crime.
It's funny that David Wilcock laughs at someone for admitting to crimes on video. I can't even count how many times this month David has done that. Yeah, and he's committing crimes on live streams while he's making.
Or they will face retaliation. Yeah, what a great idea. Let's admit to crime in the video.
You committed crimes in some of your videos by feeding wildlife. It's against the law, David Wilcock. Come on, bro. Come on. Oh, geez. David Wilcock, I thought you were always saying that 10 Days of Darkness was no internet, cell phone down, and EAS on the TV. So now it's the Pentagon social media, except for information about the border and military bases are going to be stopping. Did the Archangel Michael get it wrong again? It's strange how you always have to change your prophecies. Or was it all information that you got from the Alliance, Shadows of Ezra? So now you think that it was me that talked to Ezra. It's me with the DMs of him calling you insane, him laughing at you. Did you see the Pentagon's going dark for 10 days? Things are imminent. Sure. And here, the Shadows of Ezra guy, who he keeps stealing his content, as much as I think his content is stupid, he's still stealing his content. Once again, I have nothing to do with David Wilcock. I don't even know who he is. He sounds insane, Shadows of Ezra says, right? And then, of course, we have the 10 Days of Darkness video, which shows all the times David Wilcock has, claimed that the mass arrests are imminent and they're happening any day now, right? Any day, those 10 Days of Darkness are coming, and the mass arrests and the military tribunals, and none of that ever happens. So, my friends, we have done our due diligence on covering David Wilcock's latest streams, but a few things I would like to say. Just for the record, David Wilcock has continually blamed me for all of his problems. Have you noticed that? And I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I did take some psychology courses in college, and I have some psychology books. I'm very interested in psychology. And it occurs to me that somebody that's a narcissistic sociopath or psychopath, they don't accept responsibility for their problems. They blame other people. And now David Wilcock is somehow blaming me. It's my fault that Stavati hasn't gotten financed. It's my fault they haven't gotten new investors. It's my fault that he's in legal trouble somehow. It's my fault that people are apparently attempting to terrorize him. It's kind of ridiculous. Thank you, Complizier. Girl, you know it's true. Illy vanilly. Okay. I don't know. So we did hit our goal today, thanks to the kindness, generosity, and support of all of you kind people like Complizier, throwing another $2.99 in. Thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. And of course, all of you have helped us to hit our goal. And we have praised the cash tonight, even without Fat Chick Thriller here dropping the dono bombs or Mike Larry buying 100 gifted subs. I miss those two. But we survived. So thank you all for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
Praise the cash, friends. So God bless the goal, friends. And I did say that if we hit our goal, we would do some overtime. So one of the fun things that we do here is change the playback speed of David Wilcock, because then he sounds drunk and much more believable. So for our bonus tonight, we're going to be talking about the time that David Wilcock claimed that reptilian aliens want to bang him and eat him and then kill him. Or was it eat him and then kill him and then bang him? I'm confused, but they banged him and ate him, and then they brought him back to life. So we're going to cover that one tonight at half speed. And this is the bonus slot material that we get. And I like this because David Wilcock sounds so much more believable. He sounds so much more believable when we make him sound drunk or high. So let's get into that.
It appears that I was in a dialed-in satanic community.
Whoa.
And it appears that I was abused. And that's one of the main things I've had to deal with over the last few months is the torture.
Yes, it's all my fault.
That I was put through.
Draco boofed him and then ate him.
The things that I was forced to witness, the Dracos eating human beings.
Oh no, they ate people.
And Draco's eating my own body.
Okay. Oh, they ate his body.
Because they abused me. And I am not happy about it.
He's not happy that they butt banged him.
And if you think this is fake and you want to laugh at me.
I do want to laugh at you. I will laugh at you.
And you think that I'm making up abuse memories and this shit didn't really happen to me?
Oh, you got butt banged by reptilian aliens.
If you can't believe that there could be a reality where this is happening, well, but I've been getting new briefings, folks.
He's getting new briefings, folks.
And a lot of the stuff about the secret space program is true.
Oh, but you lied with Corey Good for years. But some of it's true.
The ETs do have a technology where they can stitch in and out of time. They could pick you up.
Oh, that sounds good.
They could have a long set of experiences with you for however long, some of which may be very horrific things. Very disgusting things.
Can you read my
and bring you back, and you don't know any different. And if you read Ascension Mysteries,
at this speed, all
the first half of that book, which is all my personal reflections, why was I waking up under hypnosis?
He's crying. He's crying, reliving the butt banging by the reptilians.
Why was I walking out the door of my house in the middle of the night?
Please cry more,
hundreds of times as a child, and I couldn't remember where I was going.
Those blue lights look like horns. Yeah, maybe he's the satanic one. Who knows?
And at the end of the thing, they just make me walk back to where I was. And then the memory
Son of a
is
bitch!
lost.
Get banged by aliens. I guess they butt banged him pretty good.
And I don't remember what happened.
It wasn't enjoyable.
But now I
or he
do.
wouldn't be crying. I don't
Now
think he enjoyed
I
the
do.
butt banging that he experienced by the reptilian Draco
And I want
overlords.
revenge. I do. I'm not
Anthony
gonna
Peterson
lie to
says
you.
someone
I
needs
want
more method
revenge.
acting classes. I agree.
I want
Thank you
these
for your
people
kindness.
gone.
And Rotary
I
Motion was
want
kind of
these
generous
beings
$2.
gone.
Clown show. Ha ha ha.
They shouldn't be able to torture people like this. They shouldn't be able to do things to children like what they did to me.
We're working on that.
And the things that I'm now remembering that happened to me.
We might get proof that they fake documents soon. We've got FOIA requests.
The people who molested me did so against my will.
Oh no, he got M'd?
They did it on stage.
Whoa, they made a stage show out of the banging?
They did it in front of large audiences.
They did it in front of large audiences, friends.
And they were making fun of me because I had special abilities in this ultimate personality they created.
Yes.
I had telekinesis.
Yeah, and he has at various times claims that he has telekinetic superpowers. And for those unaware, that's the ability to move things with your mind. So if he could really do that, shouldn't he demonstrate it, right? Imagine faking an alien grape story for the donos. Shaking my head says 0. Yeah, he's always trying to make people feel sorry for him. Oh, I'm living in poverty in a $2 million house with heated floors. And I got butt banged by reptilian aliens and I'm crying about it. Give me some donations. It's ridiculous. And it also belittles and takes away from real victims of SA and S abuse, right? It's kind of ridiculous, but that's how you know he's a scumbag. If you're willing to lie about being SA'd in order to garner sympathy and solicit donations, then you're a scumbag. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
So if you go back to some of the dreams that I posted online in 1997, there's a dream where I'm in my school cafeteria.
Sure.
And everyone in the audience is in a row.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com. Can you read my deadpan says, I can help you with any questions you might have about how contracting works. It's not a top secret process. It's the most open thing because of the earmarking and traceability. I agree. And they've lied and said that they had wind tunnel contracts that they didn't have. John proved that. They didn't have any wind tunnel contracts. They just made that shit up. They also lied and claimed that they were developing laser weapons for the military. They weren't.
And they all have their way with me, make them a banana sandwich.
That's what he said. I was AR'd and eaten by reptilian aliens, folks.
And I didn't realize when I wrote that dream down that it was true.
Yeah, profiting off the pain
but that I couldn't remember because the memories were taken away from me.
It was a private cucumber patch.
But now I do.
Now I do.
Now I remember.
He's crying. Sorry.
I don't want to go into this a whole lot more.
You're right, Craig Adams, or Craig Williams.
But it explains why I've been so committed to my path of justice and
You're right,
freedom.
Mr. Protractor.
Why will not let this go on?
He's not going to let it keep happening.
Why do not...
He's not going to let them aliens keep bending him over, okay? He's not letting one more. And sometimes, friends, you got to take a stand and say, I'm not letting one more of these Draco reptilian aliens bend me over a counter and have their way with me. I'm just not going to allow that to keep happening.
Support these people. I did not deserve to go through what I went through. I did not deserve to be raped.
Oh my God, he's using the R word by aliens?
And I will not stop. I don't care what happens to me anymore, folks.
I'll do anything but give you oral. Christo, if you give me access to that. Christo says, "Hey Steven, I found all the Project Camelot interviews saved on an old hard drive, including all the Wilcock ones. I'll do anything but butt stuff and oral. If you if you will share those with me. You can email me a Google Drive link at truthseekershow@gmail.com. Truthseeker, one Truthseeker, the word show, all one word. Truthseekershow@gmail.com. That's the best way to contact me. I would love to have access to them. The DoD isn't seeking wind tunnels in any of their contract bids they put publicly online. This idiot isn't even looking up contracts to make believable lies about them. There you go, David Wilcock. We just caught you lying. We just caught your company lying to 500,000 people. Again, how many times are you going to lie to 500,000 people?
Folks, now that I know what they did, I don't care.
Don't care. He doesn't care, friends.
I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say about me.
Change the camera angle for the close-up crying. Who does that? Change the camera angle to get a close-up of the crying. Right? What is Project Camelot? People call it Project Scamelot. It's basically, it was Kerry Cassidy and Bill Ryan's
want you
project.
to be safe.
They interviewed a lot of wackadoos about aliens and UFOs.
I'm doing this for you.
Wilcock worked with them for a time.
If I get killed, it's okay.
If he gets killed, it's okay.
I mean, I don't want them to, and I doubt that Michael would let them, but
I don't want him to kill me.
Now that I found out what happened to me and how they messed me up, and why I've had personality disorders my whole life.
Oh, thank you, Chad Wellington. Wilcock did the walk of shame after the butt.
Why I've had a hard time.
Wilcock is always ready and willing to receive. He's
on
definitely
many different levels.
He's definitely a
catcher. I've felt this
definitely a
like I'm burning alive.
Felt like he's burning alive while he was getting rolled.
But when you start finding out that people made you into a banana sandwich,
they try to make
you start remembering those things.
How was the sausage in your throat, Wilcock?
You gotta take some time off.
Whoa, buddy.
It's much, much bigger than divorce. So don't think that the divorce is why I was so silent. The divorce was only the catalyst that triggered these memories.
We're all going to be ascended before summer. Oh, God. Thank God that's over with. All right. Brandon makes a very good point. Had to leave earlier, just got back. But what good is it to buy his fancy new cars if we all get ascended before summer? Yes. And also, it's important to note that when we ascend, we're all getting superpowers, right? We can levitate and stuff. So what do we need a vehicle for? What do we need a hover car for? These are plot holes in his grift that he will never explain. Did the sandwich have peanut butter on it as well? I really don't know. Thank you, Chad Wellington. Wilcox is a certified Twinkie. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it just gets more and more ridiculous every week. But the important thing to remember is that, David Wilcock, you only have 108 days until your predictions horribly fail. And that's my birthday. And don't worry, David Wilcock, I'll be there to remind you and your audience that you're not talking to angels. Did you know that according to the test of a prophet, if you're wrong even once, that proves that you're not in contact with angels or divine sources? Did you know that? The test of a prophet. You can't be wrong once, David. You've been wrong constantly. But these two big predictions that he made, that we'll see ascension by May of 2025, and that we'll see open extraterrestrial contact by May of 2025. Those two predictions are going to spectacularly fail. And then David Wilcock will have to do what I call the super chat shuffle. That's when a grifter gets caught lying, and everybody knows they lied and grifted off of fake shit, and then they have to shuffle away for a little while. And then they hope everybody forgets that they got caught selling fake stories and fake prophecies, and then they shuffle back in with new fake stories to sell people. We'll take a couple comments and questions from the live chat before we bounce on out of here. But hey, David Wilcock, tick tock, tick tock. You only got 118 more days before your entire current grift comes crashing down, and everybody will know that you're not a prophet. You're a false prophet and a liar, and that you've been scamming people off of these fake angel prophecies for what, 2 years now? Michael Jordan, I can't wait to levitate. Psychic abilities, fly like Superman, walk on water, Marvel Comics, Fantasyland excitement. Yes, absolutely. Happy upcoming birthday, Steve. Well, yeah, that's the best birthday present I could possibly ask for. And I'm going to be broadcasting live right after my birthday. Like on June 1st, we'll do a show about how wrong he was and how he scammed people and grifted people with fake angel prophecies for what, 2 years now? Ty E. McCullough Wise says, during the time this was happening to him, Raytheon was doing direct energy weapons testing on the public. If you say so. Can you read my deadpan? At Truth Seekers, shot you an email. Seeing the way this guy talks about contracting makes my blood boil. Yeah. Matthew A. with a kind and generous $2.99 says he's just pissed they never called back. The Dracos. Yeah, they one night standed him, and then they ghosted him. They had their fun with his bunghole, and then they abandoned him. That's what he's upset about. He wanted to get additional bunghole service. That's what I think. I'm entitled to my opinion. It's nowhere near my birthday, but thank you guys. Yeah, my birthday present this year will be the best present ever. Being able to felt David Wilcock over lying to people with fake secret sacred knowledge of an angel and angelic prophecies that won't come true. He's already trying to get out of it, but we have all the clips of him saying this stuff. You're not getting out of it that easily, bro. A couple more questions or comments. YOY Fool says, I can't wait for this. And Mark Barra, what is it? Mark Baraniuk says, whoa, buddy. Yeah, getting your bunghole violated by huge Draco. You know, they're supposed to be 8, 9, 10 feet tall, those Dracos. I bet you they're packing quite a package. Can't be a pleasant experience having your bunghole having your bunghole serviced by one of them aliens. And like, do you think they like chased him down and grabbed him and threw him down and did it, or did they bend him over like a counter or something, or over like something on the spaceship? I guess, I don't know. Who knows, friends? So, my friends, I'll put my banner down. We have done our due diligence, and I apologize for the lack of shows recently, but my entire household has been sick, and now my children are sick again. They were home from school on Friday because of a stomach bug. So my two children both just got over strep throat. I think I'm still getting over strep throat. I haven't seen a doctor because my primary care physician died, and I don't want to fill out an hour's worth of forms to go get a prescription. So I just kind of been suffering through it. I'm feeling a little bit better, mostly better. But I'm afraid I'm going to get the stomach bug that my kids just had. It's never ending through the winter. So that's been slowing me down a little bit, but I'm hopeful that next week we'll have 3 or 4 shows. And we're going to try to get back to a normal schedule, right? All right. So, yeah, Sunshine says, understand, we are sick here. Yeah, it's 'tis the season for the funk, right? The funk never ends. In the middle of winter, man, my kids get strep throat and pink eye, and just it seems like it never ends. Stomach virus, flus, colds. I guess though, I must have a pretty strong immune system from everything that my children keep giving me. And my wife, my poor wife, she calls it the man flu because I cry and complain so much. But I don't think she really gets it. Like, I can't work and do my job without my voice. And if you have the cold, the flu, or stomach bug, whatever, it really throws me off of my game. And then I have to struggle to get through minute clinic for antibiotics. That's what my wife suggested, Patty. However, the nearest one takes like 45 minutes to get to this minute clinic, and then 45 minutes to drive home, and then like an hour there. So I just didn't feel like putting 3-4 hours into this, right? Stormcrow says, Wilcock says, take your vitamin P. Yes, he does. Absolutely. And the P man, right? It's the P man. Yeah, we'll play that. We'll play that. David Wilcock telling people to take baths in his own piss will always be my favorite of his stupid fake stories.
You urinate before you get into the bathtub, be in the bathtub every day for like a half an hour. It was a heavy metal detox, and so it creates a telepathic transmedium effect in the water. Ha 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 ha. He bathed in his pee-pee.
Well, yes, I want to take a moment to thank all you kind and generous benefactors, you Patreon supporters, you YouTube channel members, super sticker, super thanks, people. Did you know that? You can, even if you're watching a replay, you can hit the thanks button and throw a couple bucks in our hat to keep us honest and telling people the truth instead of doing what Wilcock does. You don't want me to start grifting, do you? So, and super sticker people, as well as you PayPal pledgers. We love all of you. We thank you all. People buying me a coffee, you can do that as well. And instructions for how you can support our efforts here are in the description of this video or podcast. And while we're on that subject, I want to take a moment to remind you audio listeners that we love and appreciate you people listening to the podcast on audio platforms. You can get the audio podcast on anywhere you get your podcasts. We're available everywhere. But if you're listening to the audio podcast, you are missing half of the fun. So we'd love you to come on over to YouTube. Look for me, the strange guy with the sunglasses. Just put Truth Seekers in the YouTube search bar, one word. We should be the first search result that pops up. Look for me, the strange guy with sunglasses. Go to that channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and come and be a part of the show. Don't just listen to the show. Don't just watch the show. Come and be a part of our live interactive chat. You are most welcome. And also on that note, just to remind people, be sure, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We didn't have any gifted memberships tonight, but usually we have some kind and generous person gifts free YouTube memberships here. And what that means is if you're in the live chat and you are not a subscriber, you're not eligible to receive one of those free memberships. But if you are a subscriber, but not yet a YouTube channel member, those gifted memberships get randomly distributed to people in the live chat who are subscribers, but have not yet become a paid YouTube channel member. And what do you get for the money? You get some extra goodies. By the way, I forgot all about doing our January show journal. I'll be doing that probably tomorrow. So you YouTube channel members and Patreon supporters can look forward to a bonus video that I'll post sometime tomorrow. So yeah, that's all I got for you, friends. The only thing I could say to wrap it up is that this whole situation is getting ridiculous with Wilcock. And I mean, like, how long can he just weather the storm of keep getting caught lying over and over and over again? You lie to 500,000 people constantly. You don't think there's going to be some karmic backlash for lying to 500,000 people constantly, right? Charles Rowland says Steve's show is worth it. If you got the extra money, good stuff. Yes, and we appreciate all of you people. And by the way, financially is not the only way you can help us. You can help us by copying the link to this video and put it on your social media, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter, put it on your Instagram, wherever you can share it and help us spread the gospel of truth seekers. We appreciate all of you. I see many of you people doing that stuff, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So, my friends, that's all I got for you. Until next time, my name is Steven Cambian. Good night, and God bless all of you.